See my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back. Got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them they won't see me. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they won't see me. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair on them is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them they won't see me. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they won't see me.
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same. Heard that.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them they won't see me. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they won't see me. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair on them is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them they won't see me. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they won't see me.
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Peace and blessings. Can we get the energy up a little bit? You know what I mean? It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power, aka Copper Grizzly. Rising to all the American Aborigines and the FBA brothers and sisters that's going to be tuning in. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Share the live stream, y'all. We're going to get into the next two Jack Me Jams to finish off this intro. Let's keep it right. Let's keep it going. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, how I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your ops where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. If being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say.
Only way that shit real, let's do what they say. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get to the last little Jappy Jam before we get the hell out of here. Before we get this thing started.
So dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? He $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's true with God and Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turn on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God, it's never our vernacular.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Don Philly in the building. Don P. Or Don Philly. Shout out to Don Philly in the building. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Peace and blessings. Hopefully everybody got the great grand rising energy. We'll be right back and get this live started in 60 seconds, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Share the live stream. I need y'all to hit the like button. It's very, very important for you guys to hit that like button, thumb up the video. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, how I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your ops where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. If being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in
All right, all right, all right. We hit the 10-minute intro marker, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share the live stream. Man, it's very important for you guys to do that. So shout out to y'all, man. We're gonna get straight to this beautiful live stream. Hey man, you know I'm gonna be narrating it, adding in my 2 cents as we go on. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Before we even get into that, I just want to chop it up with you guys. How y'all feeling this grand rise? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling this grand rise? Anything y'all wanna uh ask me or bring to the table that I might need to look into or pay attention to or making announcements about or awareness to, just let me know. I just want to tap in with the family in the chat. This is the Wake and Bake Show. So I want everybody in the chat to let me know where y'all from, what y'all smoking on this morning. You know what I mean? Let me light this wood up. I know that's part of our culture over here. We'll sugarcoat it. We keeps it real. All right. We light up this backwood right now. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me know where y'all from and where y'all what y'all smoking on. We'll take the time out to shout out to people that took the time out to rock with me. So shout out to E Knots, Hiker, Scats, Mike, L Bora, Lamarns Jr., Don Philly, Superior Minds. Who else we got? Brandon Rogers, Tampa Supreme, Eastside 1415, Chick Homily Roots, Reginald Jones, Old Dude in the building, India Goddess, Kelvin Gilbert, and Berta Washington in the building. Shout out to y'all that's in the chat. Shout out to y'all that's in the chat. And shout out to everybody that's not able to chat, that is just listening in. Shout out to you guys as well. Black and Deaf in the building. Black and Deaf. All right. Naptown. Somebody said, let me shout out where y'all at. Somebody said Baltimore. Got that loud. I'm going on Cereal Milk in Hartford, Connecticut. Somebody said Naptown in the building. Naptown in the building. All right. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power Man. We smoking on Larry Bird and a little Pebbles, man. A little fruity Pebbles, man. You know what's going on. Still on the homegrown, bro. Yeah, I feel you. 757 Virginia in the building. Virginia is in the building. Shout out to the brother Patrick Sanders, Knowledge Workout, and Ball Pythons. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Mo Red in the building. Good to see you in the building, Mo Red. Shout out to the Queen on a rant. There's Queen on a rant. Somebody said Ghost Train, Hemp Rap. I know that's right. Somebody said Flow, blowing Granddaddy Perp. I ain't seen no Granddaddy Perp in a while, y'all. Shout out to the Granddaddy Perp. For those that know, that's A1 from back in the early mid 2000s. The earlier 2000s. Perp was that shit. Shout out to everybody that's tapping into the live stream. This is the brother Big Aboriginal Power. This is the Wake and Bake Show. I want to get right into the live stream. Y'all see the title? Let's get straight into it, man. But yeah, before we even get into it, I'm gonna need everybody to thumb up the video and to drop those fire emojis in the chat to let me know that y'all can hear me loud and clear. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, better known as Big Aboriginal Power. That's bap to you guys. So make sure y'all tap in and support the channel. West Philly in the building. All right, let's start the live. Let's get it.
Benefits them to deny racism because they have to keep the system of racism going. And in order to keep the system of racism going, you're supposed to not do anything about that system. And you're supposed to pretend the system doesn't exist when you benefit from it. But we have Black folks out here who do a lot of racism denial. A lot of Black people get in situations where they're afraid to admit that they've been racially done wrong. They've been victimized by racial injustice. There was a situation out there in Kansas City. This sister, 29 years old, went on a date with this white man, ended up dead. And I just saw an interview with her family, the victim's family. And they pointed out that this white guy, the suspect, who hasn't been arrested, or I don't even think this guy's been questioned. He's been protected by the race soldiers. But there's information saying that this guy has caused the death of other people, including other white people, because of fentanyl that he has. He has fentanyl-laced drugs, allegedly. This is what they're saying. And some of the other victims may have been white. So the victims, the black woman's victims, the black female victim, her family is running around here talking about, well, see, it ain't about race. Now it ain't about race because other people been affected. So it ain't really all about race. I wish y'all stop doing.
That's them coons. And that's someone who protects a mammy and a bed wenching mentality. Sisters in the chat, Aboriginal FBA brothers and sisters, stop risking your lives and the potential to build a future by getting down with a honky. It's going to end tragically. It's not the way it's supposed to go. You cannot be fighting for your people and the liberation and the progression for your people while laying with the oppressor. It's not going to work. Okay? Seriously. That goes for you brothers out there that's swirling too.
That. Y'all stop copping out and copping pleas when you have been done wrong racially. Just because this person is allegedly off a few other people in the dominant society, that doesn't mean your situation is devoid of a racial element.
Yeah, it's a lot of things,
because
Raheem.
the fact that this guy can just get away with doing that, that proves racism right there. The fact that this guy has been protected, he has some type of immunity from law, right there is the racism. We got to get off that it ain't about race nonsense, black folks. Got to stop playing that game. There was another case where this sister was on Delta. I put up the clip about an hour ago.
East Coast, Raheem. East Coast.
Black woman up
East
there
Coast,
from the Bay Area.
It's the Wake and Bake
She got
show.
on a Delta flight and some white women felt uncomfortable with her being next to him, so they put her in the back. And then she's up here, well, I don't want to make it about race, but I felt bad. I don't want to make it about race. And the reason she's saying that is because she has some white Hispanic zaddy sitting next to her. So we got too many black folks who play these little goofy games when it comes to systematic racism, this denial thing. And you put yourself in a predicament with this denial nonsense, just like what we see going on in the Ukraine. We have all of these people from the African diaspora who sit up here and deny racism. They try to shame foundational.
Yeah, they act like it's not the system. It's not the system. It's the government. It's the government. No racism. Nigga, y'all getting treated worse than anybody over there in Ukraine right now. They making y'all motherfuckers, them Africans that was over there as refugees at Ukraine couldn't even get into Ukraine. They couldn't leave. They couldn't get on the trains. They made them people walk down there 90 miles to the Poland border in 3-degree weather. But there's no active oppression system in place. You got to be kidding me. Don't try to say no the Akata, we need your help. We need your help today. No, hold your own nuts. We're not playing that game with none of you foreign tethers. You know what I'm saying? At first it was you niggas are lazy. You niggas do not understand. It's the government. No, it's an oppression system. Don't be trying to help now. Don't be trying to yell for the American. Oh, Akata, we need your help. No, it's not gonna work like that. Don't call us Akata now, nigga. Hold your own nuts. Facts.
Black Americans telling us to not complain about racism so much. And then you go up there to the Ukraine and they're just smacking them around left and right, making them walk 12 hours to the border of Poland, doing all types of racial targeting and racial neglect of them. And they're still running around here acting confused. It's too late in the day for people to be running around here acting confused about systematic racism. It's too late for that. We've been dealing with this thing for 500 years, and you still have black folks up here playing dumb. And speaking of the Ukraine, and this is another, that's why I'm not putting on no cape for the Ukrainians at all. The Ukraine is a hotbed for neo-Nazis. Do y'all know how many neo-Nazi groups are up there in the Ukraine? Y'all do some Googling on the neo-Nazi groups. I'm talking about modern stories that's been out for the last couple of years. The Ukraine has a major neo-Nazi problem. They've been dealing, having those Nazis up there for the longest. All right, now let's see. Okay. Hold on one second.
Shout out to Raheem. You said this channel is in its top 5. I'm glad it is. It should be in everybody's top 5 because it's the latest wake and bake morning show you're going to find on the air right now. It's the wake and bake morning show. You know what I mean? Shout out to your brothers. Shout out to everybody for pushing the brand. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hey, if you just tuned into the live stream, make sure you thumb up the video and share the live stream. You know what I mean? Support the channel. Support the channel. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, aka Copper Grizzly. Let's get it.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so let's get a couple of calls in here. Let me get some calls in here. Let's get SA. Let's get who is this? Zulu Brigade. All right, we'll get Zulu Brigade. I'm gonna get a bunch of folks in here lined up so we can chop it up. Then we get Trippin' Mo. All right, so let's get SA. Let's get him in.
Oh, what's up, my brother?
What's up, SA? How are you, man?
I'm doing good. You?
Oh, I'm good, man. Now where are you from, SA?
I'm from UK.
UK. All right. What part of the UK? Ireland, Scotland?
England.
England. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's on your mind, man?
Well, I just want to say, I feel like, this whole kind of, war issue between, African Americans and non-African Americans is just overblown. I feel like when you go out in the real world, you don't hear people talking like that. But when you come onto Twitter, every time you hear about this shit.
No, in the real world, you don't hear them talk like how they talk online. It's because they hide and undermine it behind the scenes. They're smiling in your face. As soon as you leave, oh, that nasty, stupid, lazy Akata. We should get him fired for smoking the backwood.
So, what is your perspective?
Yeah, there's no war. Yeah. People, even just the terminology, there's no war whatsoever. There's not a war at all. We're just kind of doing our thing. We're doing us. There's no war. People try to create a war in order to center themselves in our affairs, but we're not even thinking about all these other groups, to be honest. Let's get Sharecropper in here. Sharecropper.
Yo, what's going on, my man? How you feeling?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Pleasure to be on and to speak to you and the people. My thing with Ukraine is I feel like we really don't have a dog in the fight, man. On the one hand, I'm able to dissect it a little bit. On the one hand, I respect the fact that some of them are over there and they're standing up for whatever it is that they feel like they got to stand up for, because at the end of the day, a man got to stand for his own, and he shouldn't run. And that's one of the problems that we have with the people who run over here and then lift their nose up at us. And on the other hand, I see folks running away from that place. And that's probably one of the most coward things you can do. If a man ain't gonna stand up for nothing, he really ain't a man at all. But as far as racism denial, man, you're going to get a wake up call, man, because you can tell yourself what is not about all you want to in order to keep folks happy with you. But at the end of the day, you're going to find out they were never happy with you, and they were just waiting for the right and opportune time to pour all the pain on you that they've been harboring, laughing at you behind your back, busting jokes about you before you come in a room, and then when you walk in a room, you think they laughing at something else, and really you the butt of the joke. And it's sad that the brothers and sisters that's over there is getting this wake up call. But hey, man, we tried to tell you, so that's y'all fault, man. That's on y'all. You can't say we didn't warn you. You know what I mean? And that's all I got to say about that.
If you gonna be a dumbass nigga to go over there and fight some shit, then that's on you. Because like I told you, Ukraine didn't come over here doing Jim Crow. They didn't come over here doing the colonization of taxation of land, doing the sharecropping days. None of that. They got to hold their own up. You got to be a complete coon to want to go fight and support Ukraine.
Hey, can you hear me?
Right. Hey, what's up, Trent?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm FBA. I wanted to talk about the racism denial and also the Ukraine real quick. With the racism denial, I think some people are scared. Maybe they have a job. They don't want to compromise. But my thing is, why do they bring up the issue. Like with the woman on the flight, if you're gonna, when you get to the spotlight, if you're gonna just say it's not racist, why say anything? Like that was my whole thing with Bach and Jean's family. I think the other thing is a lot of these people do it for attention. Like all these CRT board, non-FBA people saying, yeah, well, I'm black and I don't want CRT taught. That person knows that they're going to get attention.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then with,
so they don't want to be mistreated, but they don't want to call out racism. So they want to kind of play this little middle ground because they don't want to offend Zaddy that they're laying up with, this little goofy nonsense that they try to play. Yeah, this is why, folks, y'all can't play no games with this thing. Either you're going to go all in on it or you're going to sit up here and accept it. We got to stop this middle ground fence riding nonsense when it comes to dealing with racism. Because right when we start getting the racists on the ropes, you got fools out here copping pleas because you don't want to mess up your sexual access to white mommy or white daddy. It's just goofy stuff. It gets real goofy. What's up, Michael? Turn your microphone on.
Hey, Tariq, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm calling out of New York, man. I just wanted to add on to it, man. You know, you had a conversation.
I didn't mean to block that person. Kelly D. Bree, I didn't mean to block you. I apologize. Somebody, one of my moderators, unblocked that person. I apologize.
Maybe 2 or 3 days ago about some of the non-FBAs being here and things kick off.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Don't forget to support the Dollar Challenge. That's something that we do over here on the Aboriginal side of things, where all Aboriginals support the platform with $1. That shows that you appreciate the work and content and time that we put out on this live stream by putting out this information, getting our brothers and sisters on code, and going against the foreign tethers. So listen, if y'all support the content, y'all respect the channel, support the Dollar Challenge, man. The link's ticking at the bottom of the screen.
Here in the States, you know, a lot of these guys are saying that, you know, oh man, I'm definitely going to be leaving the country. I'm not fighting no type of war. Meanwhile, you know, when it comes down to it, man, from generation to generation, my grandfather served this country. My great-grandfather served this country.
Right.
You know, you got a lot of FBAs, man. We've been here serving the country, man, like putting our lives on the line. You know, it's a sense of pride. Everything's the thing. So it's ridiculous for these guys to come over here, eat off of us, and then when shit hit the fan, a lot of these guys are looking to run, like they've always done.
Yeah, we're gonna talk, man. Thank you for the call, brother. All right, let's get Richie, brother Richie, hop on. All right, I'm good. How you doing, Richie?
I'm good, man. Long time supporter, straight out of Miami.
Hey, much respect, man. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with everything you're saying as far as people, you know, denying racism. You know, people don't want to give up that access, you know, that proximity to, you know, these white folks. So they want to, you know, try to deny it that is racism. So that's what they're doing. But you can't deny it because, like you said, the young woman who was allegedly killed by her, you know, her lover, he wasn't arrested yet. So what's up with that?
Right. They keep playing games and they're playing these zaddy games. Guys are really on code right now. Let's get Marcus Garvey in here. Marcus Garvey, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Tariq? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. What's on your mind, bro?
Hey, man, I'm calling from Fayetteville, North Carolina, man. Not too far from your hometown in Alabama.
There you go.
All right, yeah, that Ukraine situation, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it, those Africans, you know what I'm saying? Calling us Akatas and all that stuff they used to do back in the day, and they still do that.
Oh, Akata, we need your help. We are being oppressed in Ukraine. Akata, help.
You know, we have that problem in North Carolina as well. A lot of Nigerians, they come over, they get with these churches, and they thumb their nose up at us. You know what I'm saying? So now they're experiencing what we experience in the United States, and they're still experiencing the United States. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, hey, welcome to the club. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? We're FBA. We're an FBA nation with a distinct lineage. And, you know, I don't care how mad you get, but I'm really proud of who I am. My wife is FBA. Thank you.
Well, much respect, man. Thank you so much. CC, turn your microphone on, beloved. Unmute yourself, Miss CC.
Somebody asked me, what does the bear represent? Well, the bear is my emblem. That's my tribal energy and my name. That's my nickname. They call me Copper Grizzly, G. They call me the Copper Grizzly. You feel me? We all have original power. You feel me? That's a title that you have. Once you understand your lineage, we all have original power.
Hey, hey, I just was coming in. I didn't know what the conversation was about. I just wanted to speak.
Oh, okay. What's on your mind, CC?
Well, just say hello. That's really it to you.
Oh, hello to you too, beloved. There you go. Now go on back and then finish doing your baby hairs. She just wanted to shout us out. Shout out to
John Rambo. How about you get call up on the panel? How about you call up?
her. Let's get Louise. Let's get Louise in here, and then we'll get Libercado, this person with a baby on the thing. What's up, Louise? Louise?
We're gonna let John Rambo speak his hatred and vitriol. Obviously, he's so far up the white man's bussy, and he done gave up his bussy that he forgot he got an African name. His name is John Rambo. Name right after a white man. Ain't that some shit?
Hey, Louise.
We're gonna allow the musty mouth African to speak his mind in a second when we open the panel up.
So we'll get you back in a minute. So let's get Libercado. I think that's your name. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, also I'm not an African American. I'm Native.
Okay,
I'm Native American, so I would just like to know.
Slow down. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he came on hot. They came on hot and ready.
We'll get you back in a minute. So let's get Libercado. I think that's your name. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, also I'm not an African American. I'm Native.
Okay,
I'm Native American, so I would just like to know.
Slow down. Okay, all right. I have to mute you. Slow down. Let's take your time. All right, slow down. You coming in with guns blazing. All right, let's try it again. Okay, he just bust in the door with his pants down. Damn, dude. Okay, let's turn your microphone on, bro. Let's try this again. You just kind of jumped in the door. You know, you gotta.
Black American. Then he came on. Hey, he must have been rehearsed that motherfucker the last 30 minutes.
Gotta have a little decorum. All right, nigga. Even if you go to Subway, you gotta stand in line to tell them how to make the sandwich, nigga. All right, turn your microphone on.
Okay.
All right, now let's slow it down. Let's slow down because you just jumped in the room blazing. Let's calm down. All right, now where are you from?
I am from Mexico, and I am a Native American. I mean,
you're Native American.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. So you're from Mexico and you're Native American.
Yes.
So you live in the U.S. now, though, right?
No. I'm native from the continent of America. I'm native from Mexico. I am actually 100% native, which means I'm not mixed. I know.
Nigga, you sound like you mixed. You sound like a Spaniard. Yeah. And from the sounds of things, I could almost guarantee that this guy looks like Jackie Chan or some type of Cambodian, Asian, Filipino type of guy. He looks just like those chinos.
Dialect.
I can almost guarantee.
I learned Spanish and also I learned English. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the Mazatec tribe.
The Mazatec tribe. Got it. Now, do you live in Mexico now? Where do you live now? That's what I'm asking.
I live in the southernmost part of Mexico, which will be Oaxaca state. That's the most indigenous place from which what I know will be Chiapas and Oaxaca will be the most indigenous part of Mexico. Thank you, sir.
Right. So I do know as indigenous people out there in Mexico, they are discriminated against by the Mexican people. Do you face discrimination?
Exactly. So one thing I want to know is that Mexicans, either white Mexicans or mestizo Mexicans, they glorify the indigenous Mexicans that fought on the revolution, but they totally discriminate the actual.
He's going in a little bit though. I can't deny. He touching on some shit. Might have to let him get his shit off right with this. He just said some critical shit now, you know what I'm saying? Talking about the indigenous people fighting, that was already in that area that was never applied to be called Mexicans. The indigenous peoples there was never called Mexicans. All right. They still called by their tribal name right now. I just want everybody to understand that and respect that. All right.
Mexican people, do you face discrimination?
Exactly. So one thing I want to know is that Mexicans, either white Mexicans or mestizo Mexicans, they glorify the indigenous Mexicans that fought on the revolution, but they totally discriminate the actual Mexican that are living currently on this country.
Yeah. The indigenous people, they really discriminate against them a lot now. They discriminate against a lot down there. Do you guys? What's the name of the tribe you're from?
I am from the Mazateco tribe. My dialect is Mazateco. There's like 4 different types of Mazateco dialect from where I'm from, but there's a lot. There's like pretty much 32 different dialects in all this country. So it's really hard to explain. So from someone who is from out of this country.
Oh, there you go. All right, well, thank you so much for the call. All right, so let's get some more people in here. All right, let's get
You finish putting your tortillas in the goddamn air fryer. I know you just put your tortillas in the air fryer.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Let's get Keith. We'll get Keith in here, and then we'll get Louise. You want to try it again? Because I tried to add you on, and you didn't say nothing. But let's get Keith in here.
Hey, Tariq.
What's up, family?
Yeah, I'm FBA. I'm from Vallejo.
There you go. What's on your mind,
you
brother?
see that person? That's my granddad, right?
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. Now, where's your granddad from?
He's from Louisiana.
Oh, cool. Yeah, a lot of people in the Bay.
A lot of people from the Bay come from Louisiana, Arkansas, mostly down south.
How far is Vallejo from Oakland?
About 20 minutes. I was born in Oakland, so it's about 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah. But
shout out to the town.
I like to speak on it because the people that
I'm about to drop the link. I see John, the starving African Rambo, in the chat. Let's see. All the trolls hit the link. I'm gonna give y'all a second to say what you want to say. Come on, you foreign tether. Let's see what the hell John Rambo had to say. The link is in the chat. This is just for all the trolls. No, none of my brothers and sisters hit the link right now. We'll do that later. Let's let John Rambo say what he want to say.
deny racism, they're comfortable with the racism because of the privileges they get. Yeah. And them the same people. So I consider these people as groups, not just black, because black people come in many groups. As we can see, we talk about it all the time. All these groups are different groups of black people. And some of them is against racism. A lot of them was for racism. As we can see, it's black or magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go. All right, man. Thanks for the call, brother. All right. Let's get some more folks. I want to get some of these.
John Rambo, hit the link, John Rambo.
New faces in here. A lot of the new faces. I see a lot of new faces. Let's get Too Smart to Fail.
Come on, John Rambo. Hurry up and drop the food off at the doorstep. So we know you probably doing DoorDash or Uber Eats or somewhere, or working at a detailing shop.
Too Smart to Fail. Let's get Too Smart to Fail.
Hey, Tariq.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's your name?
Gloria.
Hello, Gloria. How are you?
I'm good. This is my first time on a space. I did not know how to get on one. I'm 70 years old. I thank you for everything that you and the new black media are doing. I listen to you guys every day. We need this. They destroyed us in the 60s.
Hey, we got another coon in the background by the name of King Cass. And he like, I wish my African brother would jump on here with us. Nigga, he don't call you his brother. He called you a kata. And you niggas still putting your lips up, ready to pucker and kiss and mooch on them African ass cheeks. You are disgusted as an FBA. You niggas won't think this is your brother. He's not your brother. This nigga is an African tether who's trying to undermine you while doing Instacart.
Destroyed all of our leaders, all of our groups, and then we became integrated. And we were comfortable in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. So I thank you for what you're doing. I don't know if I'll see the outcome, but I'm definitely FBA.
Man, I love it. Thank you so much, Miss Gloria. Shout out to Miss Gloria. All right, let's get Molly Wop in here. Molly Wop. Let's get Molly Wop. Go ahead. What's up, Molly Wop?
I'm good. How are you today, Mister?
I am good, my friend. Now, where are you from, sir?
I'm from Ondo State, Nigeria.
Oh shit, we got one of your cousins in here, John Rambo. We got one of your cousins in here. I smell a hating ass African. I don't know if he's gonna be a hater, but from the smells of things, it's a little musty.
Okay, there you go. So what's on your mind, sir?
I wanted to know what this space was all about. If you can refresh.
We were just talking about how a lot of people deny racism. You know, that's what we're talking about. And we're just talking about why people, especially some Black people, will deny racism. So that's what we're talking about today. But what's on your mind? Did you have something you wanted to get off your chest, sir?
Yeah. I heard that a couple months ago you had maybe a year ago. I don't remember. You had received over $1 million for a museum.
Yes.
Where did all that money go?
It went to a Jollof factory.
Jollof factory.
A Jollof factory. I'm making microwavable Jollof. That's where it went.
Microwavable Jollof.
Yeah.
You should send me some, brother.
I will send you some of that microwavable Jollof.
Okay. So. But about the museum, what of the museum?
It's going to be next to a deodorant factory, and you're more than welcome.
You're beating around the bush, my friend.
Speaking of bush, does your family still live in the bush?
Speaking of bush, do you?
While you're over here,
no, we have a 4-story mansion.
Of course, yes, you do.
We're very financially stable.
Yes, you are, and that's why the people.
And I know you are too.
That's why your folks are up there begging for help in the Ukraine, and the government won't help them. Can you use some of your 4-story homes?
I know you're very.
Umbute, calm down. Calm down, Umbute. First, you're pocket watching, and now you're sitting up here talking all of that.
No. I know you're financially I know you're financially sound as well because you had received $1 million and no one knows where it went.
Everybody knows where it went, sir.
Okay, where did it go?
Stop pocket watching Foundational Black Americans, sir. Why do y'all pocket watch us so much? You're so jealous, and y'all pocket.
I want you to stop stealing from your own people.
Okay? Sir, that's you projecting. Notice Foundational Black Americans are not whining about the money because they know where it's going.
They do.
Only you non-FBA tethers are whining about our museum. Why is that?
Because you stole from your own people and you refuse to give them money.
That's you projecting your jealousy, sir. You're projecting your scam mentality because you had to pull all types of scams to get here, didn't you, sir?
I want to see your tax return.
Sir, I want to see
a tax return. This nigga African. Pocket watching ass, hating ass immigrants. Y'all niggas mad, man, because we can just do anything in America. We light up a backwood. We get on YouTube, talk shit. You know what I'm saying, about you stinking motherfuckers. And our family love it because it's how they feel. You feel what I'm saying? We talk about how we ain't going to help y'all. We ain't not allowing y'all to undermine us. Y'all got to hold y'all on us. And we enjoy this conversation and y'all hate it. So listen, the real thing about it is, if you don't like Black Americans, you don't have to deal with Black Americans, but you do, mainly because you fled your homeland. You gave up your bussy to get over here around the Akata. So now it's, oh, Akata, can you help us, Akata? Akata, please help us buy bricks, get us bricks, Akata, buy bricks from us, Akata. You come over here looking for the nigga to get your get on with. No, 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 no. You little musty mouth motherfuckers gonna have to hold your own shit. Starving Marvin ain't gonna cut it over here. You understand me? You come over here and you just willingly take down your little grass skirts and give up your pussy to the white man. You give all your culture, leave all your family members back home. Every now and then you make enough to send back. You niggas are pathetic and
Your
disgusting.
deodorant receipts, okay? Because you sound very musty, okay? You sound jealous.
I gotta get the Tariq back for stealing from God's people.
Sir, you sound jealous and musty, sir.
Show us your tax return.
Show us your green card. Okay.
Wait, show us your tax return.
Can you show me your green card?
Tariq, where did the money go?
Sir, I told you where the money. It went to buy.
Where is the museum?
It went to buy your mama and sister's better wigs, sir, and you know that costs a lot of money. So that's $900,000 right there. That's where the money went.
King Flex, please, come on, don't steal from that.
Why the fuck do you steal from the government? Our people has not been oppressed. It's the government.
Government. The government, it's the government, it's the government. Right there. That's where the money went.
King Flex, please. Come on, don't steal from that.
Sir, stop projecting your scams.
King Flex.
Okay. Umbute. Now, are you done hating and pocket watching, sir? Because y'all stay pocket watching and projecting your jealousy on foundational.
Why would that?
Man, you can smell that motherfucker African through this motherfucking live stream. He is a funky motherfucker coming over here pocket watching. That's what they do. They hate to see you Aboriginals. Look at the FBA and the Aboriginal brothers and sisters in the chat. Drop those fire emojis in here. Listen, they hate to see y'all successful. Pull up in y'all rise, the way you put on your clothes. You feel what I'm saying? And when they buy the same clothes, they look like a goddamn fool. It's a joke that we give motherfuckers. We be like, now look at him, he dressed like an African. You know why we say that? Because y'all can't dress. Y'all have no swagger. And y'all be mad at us. I think Akata means swagger. Akata might as well just means the great ones. Because we great. And y'all come over here and y'all try to pillage and lead off our backbone of what we built. Guess what, Africans? Hold your nuts. If you want a tip from us, stay in your homeland and fight. That's all we can give you. Through this whole deprivement and this whole oppression, all tips we can give you is stay and fight. That's what we've been doing. You see what I'm saying? We ain't ready.
Jealous now.
You're jealous because, you know why you're jealous? You're jealous because foundational Black Americans are 12% of the population. And we raise more money in 1 month than 100 million of you could not raise in probably a year, because you're over there in your home country hating on each other, cutting each other's throat, and not building anything and coming over here.
Flex, I would not be jealous.
Yes, sir, this is jealous talk. You're jealous because we got on code and raised that large amount of money in a short period of time, and y'all can't do that in your homeland. Is that where this jealousy is coming from?
No,
sir?
I'm a self-made man. I don't have to steal from my own people. You understand?
Sir, you're projecting. Sir.
I'm self-made.
You're self-made.
You cannot be self-made.
Sir, driving for Postmates is not self-made, sir. Is that your idea of self-made?
And you see how these Africans be, they be like 30, 35, 40, 20, around our age and a little older. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can't allow these motherfucking 10 cents a day problems to come over here and talk shit. Obviously, this is what 10 cents a day have got a shit talking Africa. Seriously. Should have never gave y'all motherfuckers 10 cents a day. That's some bullshit. They come over and talk shit. It ain't worth a dime. Hey, you motherfuckers ain't worth a dime.
You can't. You didn't even finish high school. You dropped out.
And a high school dropout has more money than half your country, sir. How do you feel about that?
He said this high school dropout got more money than half your country. Sheesh, Mbutu.
Great. To even make a book,
Sir, how does it feel that a high school dropout has more money and more success and more respect than half your village? How do you feel about that?
I feel good because I didn't have to steal it to get where I am.
Well, you had to sell pussy to white men to get a green card, sir.
Tariq, are you a homosexual?
No, sir.
I think you are a homosexual.
You're calling up whining to another man. There's nothing
Can
more.
you stop using this?
There's nothing more boochified than that. You're calling up whining to another man, which is something that a lot of you non-FBA tethers love to do. You guys are beta males. Many of you tether classes, y'all been defeated by white supremacy.
Hey, John Rambo, it doesn't take that long to drop off your DoorDash products that you just dropped off. John Rambo. I know you're not Instacarting that long, brother. Why you ain't hit the link yet, sir? John Rambo is a troll, you guys.
Y'all call up whining to other men, especially black people. Why do y'all whine so much?
So, didn't you say you?
Okay, I can't understand you, sir. Take some of the jollof out of your mouth. Now, why do you?
Didn't you say you'd raise the
Umbutu? Why do you whine so much? What is that about your culture that makes you such whiners? Umbutu? Oh, did your prepaid minutes run out, sir? Did you have to go get a Wakanda?
Can you stop muting me for like 1 second? Please?
Okay. I know your.
Didn't you say you said you?
I know your Wakanda rush card is running out of money, but at least try to keep your phone on long enough so you can.
Yo, can you stop muting me, bro?
Sir, but you have to listen. I know over in your homeland. I know in your homeland, everybody's just babbling and talking over each other, and there's no order, and that's why everything falls straight to hell. But over here, there's order, Umbutu. You got to have order.
Yo, Tariq, you gotta stop muting me, okay?
Okay, now you're gonna have.
Okay, like I recall you saying that you fucked Brooke.
Okay. Now you're using potty mouth language, sir. I will not have that, sir. Do you use that mouth to blow your granddad? You have a potty mouth, sir. So we're gonna have to get.
That's how they recycle the water. These motherfucking Africans used to have to drink on their granddaddy's pipe just to get some juice.
You out of here now.
Ain't no water in Africa.
Using potty mouth words.
Clean water is there. Yeah.
Musty and your pocket watching. So we bid you a good day. See, we got to have respect. And now you're using potty mouth language, sir. I will not have that, sir. Do you use that mouth to blow your granddad? You have a potty mouth, sir. So we're going to have to get you out of here. Now you're using potty mouth words, you're musty, and you're pocket watching. So we bid you a good day. See, we got to have respectful space around here, sir. We cannot have that. Okay. We're not trying to have pocket watching tethers. And he doesn't represent the majority of the people from his homeland, but that Sambo tether class, that jealous pocket watching class, we just have to put them in check. Hello, Ivy. Turn your microphone on, Ivy.
Hey, I'm terribly sorry I'm new to all this, but I don't understand the term pocket watching. I've never heard it before. I was just wondering if you could explain that to me.
Yes. Now, Ivy, where are you from? That accent. You're UK? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm in the UK, southeast. Used to be in Wales, but southeast England now.
Okay. And you're a white male, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Pocket watching means somebody who's paying attention to somebody else's money. That's what pocket watching means. Like, why are you paying attention to somebody else's money? And usually pocket watchers like to project their scam mentality onto other people. So that's what pocket watching means.
Ah, I see. I'm new to all this. So I just want to try and understand a lot of it better at the moment because it's a very complex, nuanced topic, and a lot of these terms I don't know at the moment. So I just wanted to ask.
Any other terms that you're unfamiliar with, sir?
No, at the moment I've just been listening. So you've been doing a great job. It was just a simple question. I'll bow out now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, let's see who else we got in here. All right. I'm not trying to hear jealous pocket watching. Oh, Lord. That jealous, non-FBA crybaby pocket watching. That ain't nothing but jealousy, boy. There. The fact that we got.
And all these foreigners come over here and do the same type of pocket watching.
Home, and they can't even get toilets built. They can't even get on code enough to build basic amenities. And, they love to run around talking about how thorough they are and how hard they work. But y'all can't get the basic amenities in your homeland. But over here, we can get, $1 million in a month without kissing white people's ass. So they sit home mad as hell thinking about that. Oh, these niggas. Oh, these niggas.
Hey, Marvin Holloway, since we sound juvenile, can you come on and explain the part that sounds juvenile to you, sir? The link is in the chat. I want to hear from the trolls today.
Projecting their scams onto us. No. Hold your own scams. Don't come over.
John Rambo, if you ain't gonna come in the chat or come on the panel like you said you was to explain your hatred and vitriol, then we're gonna have one of the moderators to evaporate you out the chat. We're gonna evaporate you like your water in your country.
Here with that.
I didn't want any Aborigines to come on the platform right now. I want the trolls to come on.
HBK. I think that's your name, HBK. I'm digging in the pool of people here. HBK, turn your microphone on. And then we'll get John Redcorn. HBK, hop on. Let's try it again, HBK, where you at? And then we'll get Akanu.
I see a few people hopping on. If you Aborigine, just you come back later, okay? You come back later. But if you are African, stay on. I'll let you on in a second.
James. All right, HBK.
Oh, there was the Aboriginal brothers. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all come back in a second. You FBA Aboriginal brothers pop back on. If you're African, come back on.
Hey, one more time. You gonna turn your microphone on? What's up?
You gonna turn your microphone on? Sentient?
You can't even read, bro. What's going on?
What you got to say, brother? I know you can't eat neither. Obviously, you starving. So what you got to say?
That's pretty funny, though. That's funny.
So where you at? Where you calling from? Where you at right now?
UK, bro.
What part of the UK are you at, bro?
Mainly like close to like London.
All right, London. Shout out to London. All right. So what you got to say? Are you an African? Where your people's from?
Of course, man. Zulu.
Okay, what you got to say, Zulu?
I just want to ask questions, that's all. I want to ask, do you believe everything that Dane Calloway says, or what's your take on that?
No, I don't really listen to any of this information. I don't even know who the guy is, but yeah.
What about Top Cats? What about Phoenix Moon?
I believe they putting out Aboriginal information, man. Waking people up, telling people who they are. It doesn't matter who it is that's putting out this information, as long as you're putting out the truth. But listen, my question to you is, why does that concern you?
It's not about concern. It's just I'm not
concerned. You're not even
with that.
in America. Listen, you're not even in America. You're not an American. You're in the UK. That's an African. What does that concern to you, sir? You can unmute yourself. What does that concern?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. I was saying basically, there's so many events that's going on in the world, and people do look into like news and stuff or lectures. You might learn something, just like history. Like if I come on your channel, I might learn something that I didn't know, or go on Tariq's channel or whatever. All these people, it just kind of gives us like an idea of like what these events gonna like turn into in the next 10 years or 20 years. So that's the only reason why I would tune into it, to find out. Same thing. We're looking at Russia right now, looking at Ukraine. Everybody's looking at that stuff.
No. That's cool to be a observer on the open internet,
Exactly.
but to
That's what the
openly
internet is for.
imply certain questions, I'm asking you, why are you concerned
I'm not
with?
concerned about. I'm just trying to see like where your rationale is kind of like going, and what are your thoughts on certain methodologies and
Oh, okay,
approaches to
okay.
studying like different history, because we're looking into history, right? And there's certain things that people don't agree with. So I'm just like studying people to see, okay, what's this guy's take on it? What's another guy's take on it? What is the methodology you're actually applying?
I mean,
Are you studying,
obviously, people
you
are
know?
not going to agree. Excuse me. Obviously, people are not going to agree on each and everything. But for the overall, long as people can understand the basics, the fundamentals, that there was people here before slave trade, that these people was Negroes that already built great society and gave contribution to what we call American culture now, right? So as long as we got that basic understanding, other historical specifics could be worked out. You understand me? With data, it all will be changed based off of data. So yeah, as long as they putting out the information that Negroes was here and they not African, that these people are from a different stock, that these people are indigenous, they have their own culture, they have their own folk ways and mores. I'm cool with that. You know.
Okay, so if that is the case, would you say that then that might mean, I mean, depending on the dates of like when those people were living there, does that actually mean that those people in America actually seeded the rest of the world? So it's either you have to pick one to say, okay, it's either in Africa like the theory or the scientific theory or the theorem, or it's actually the Americans, people that were living in America that actually seeded the rest of the world. Because somebody has to be the
Well, well,
origin.
well, well, what you're doing is comparing the out of Africa theory to the out of America hypothesis or theory as well. But you also have other leading theories like the multi-regional theory. Are you familiar with the multi-regional theory?
I might have an idea. If I say, is it regarding how the equator actually influences people's skin tones or whatever, and
Oh
mutations
no,
as
it don't,
admixtures,
no,
or is it about
it don't,
mutations? Is it about
no,
admixtures? So
no,
what is it about? What would be the inception of that?
The multi-regional theory talks of and implies how human life singularly pops up roughly around the world around the same time in different areas. Uh, you also have the out of Europe theory, which is another theory that scientists is pushing based off of data. So what you got to understand is there's different theories and point of views. Some of them are stronger than other based off of data. Uh, but only science can tell. And only time will.
So when will you be starting to actually say you now accept this specific science? Because there is various sciences and various methodologies to actually qualify that and actually quantify whatever claims you might make, or whatever kind of like subjects you might have for a dialogue or a debate or whatever you want to
Well,
call
a
it.
lot of it is substantiary, and a lot of it I will agree with to a certain particular theories I do agree with, but in a lot of the data is accurate. But what we fail to see is historical books in your educational systems, whether elementary leading up to college, you're not seeing these history books rechanged on history. And contemporary science is saying, well, this is wrong. We found this is established now. So that's pseudo now. They're not changing it in the history books. They're leaning on this same formula of outdated information or insert of artificial data or history that's in the school books, which is a form of uniformitarianism, which is a form of warfare and deception. So we work hard to try to put out a lot of this information. A lot of the information that the brothers and sisters is pushing throughout the Aboriginal FBA platform is ahead of the curve. History books hasn't even caught up to rewrite them. the new shit in yet.
Okay, so would you say that out of every single Harvard or Yale or different universities around the world, they are not studying DNA, they're not studying archaeology and actually updating the books to a standard which you are actually holding them up to? Would you say that if you was to, let's say, if you was to go to like a university today and your teacher told you that you need these books to be able to actually meet the criteria of passing and getting these grades, are you saying that those books, they're not updated every single time they actually go in the shop?
Absolutely, they're not updated at all.
Would you provide a source of a book that is used, that is based on science, that's not actually updated every time it goes into the shop?
I couldn't tell you one right off the top, but you could deal with certain aspects of history that is established that you know that is in historical books that is false.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is science has never been like a stagnant thing. It's actually a tool that's used to actually build upon something. So they might actually update things. That's why when they say they debunk something, there's always a date on that, because scholars actually sit around in a table or in a meeting, and academia is actually involved. And we have all these scientists or whatever when they're actually trying to actually update the information. So is that actually being done on your side? Because this is like a scientific thing where the scientific community, they actually sit down and they argue points. And you say that there's a theory, the out of Africa theory, which is just like a hypothesis, right?
Right.
And there is a scientific theory which is actually a tested science, which is the difference between a theory and a scientific theory. And there's also a
Right.
theorem,
And
which
most
means something is
methodologies
tested.
has been attested to all of them, whether the multi-regional, the out of Europe, the out of Africa, some of them has been attested to. But the reason they constantly come up, for instance, with the third theory, because there's not just one module of the out of Africa theory. You have out of Africa theory 1, 2, and 3, and I believe it might be a fourth one as well. But what it is the data that they keep finding changes the narrative of one's theory. So they have to constantly keep changing and updating. So in other words, only the data can tell. You see what I'm saying? So all of it is being checked and fact checked to be what we call a scientific theory.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. So would you say that
Scientific theory,
go on.
scientific theory deals with, you know, three particular bases: a hypothesis, you feel what I'm saying? Then it deals with possibility, and then it deals with probability, right? And then the third one that you will add on to that will be certainty. That's when it becomes a scientific law. This is a part of law now, no longer
Okay,
theory.
okay. On that subject of like on the three differences that you've given, would you say that the computers that we're using today, or the computer that, oh, let's say China's built a computer, right? They've built the fastest quantum computer, yeah. And this computer is supposed to like work out data and calculate things the fastest. Would you say that technology is so advanced in 2022 that simple things like DNA that we couldn't actually study before or understand before, quantum computers
Well,
can actually work that out?
I probably would disagree because that's giving discredit to the civilizations that had their whole run of technological advancements without having a reset. So if we've been civilized as civilized people for, let's say, 5,000 years, right? When recorded languages became about, then that's only 5% of human recorded history if humans only been around for 100 to 200,000 years. So what I'm saying is, if a civilization prior to us was to thrive, let's just say for 40,000 years without a hiccup or a reset, their technological advances will be way more advanced than us. So what I'm saying is, I don't know. I say we still in infant stages. We're still trying to make our future like our past. Our past was very, very advanced.
Yeah. But would you if I was to ask you this, yeah, would you say that let's say like let's take like the Mayans, right? Or the architect people. Would you say that the people that are living in those areas today, they are the same people or not? What would be
No,
your take on that?
that's a complex question because under news and what's been promoted, and you're gonna see a certain demographic of people. And those demographic of people that you might call a Mexican or that you call a South American, is the promoted image that they want you to allude to. In fact, these people are invaders. The indigenous people would have looked similar from Brazil all the way up to Canada.
Yeah. Would you say because the scientists they have looked into like the Mayas and that, and what they have found, okay, from to my knowledge, is that there were the people that are living there today, they built some stuff, right? But they built on top of what was already there. And when you go back and actually look at what the actual Mayans actually
Well,
built, the statues and stuff,
if you look at all civilizations, if you go back to
the
Khufu,
Sumerian, it's everywhere.
if
Yeah,
you go back to Khufu, Egypt, anywhere, a lot of those civilizations and structures were built old. They have levels to them where other civilizations and kingdoms eh, eh, had already built, and they just added on. So this has been a process that's
that's what
always
that's just what
going.
I just said. I
We
just
call
say the
it
same thing.
we call it restoration now. You understand me? When
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
add on, build on to something else that's prior, they call it restoration or extension of adding on to. So yeah,
Okay.
but yeah,
So,
the speak of the Mayans, they not only have they built great things, what's failed to mention is that they have some of the largest structures in the planet when it comes to pyramidal structures. They also have the most condensed forms of it, meaning the most structures. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
obviously,
I
if
totally
you
agree with
take
that.
away your date and take away all the dates, take away everything like that, the labels, just by observation, it shows the advance of building just within America compared to
But
other places.
but if we talking about very advanced beings, right? That means we're talking about a
But listen,
people.
I really want to get to your point of calling those. I don't want to kind of go down to a whole science rabbit field that I can and dire in all day. But kind of want to get to your point of calling in. I was wanting to deal with the Africans that was spreading their hatred and vitriol. It don't seem
I
like you
would
have
say,
any
I mean,
hatred or vitriol.
if I was to speak for like Africans that I've seen and stuff, I would say that most Africans, or it's just most black people in just in general, there is like a defense mechanism. Like if you was to look at Africans and you try to approach them and say, "Oh, you're dark, this or whatever," they're gonna go
I
into
noticed
defense.
I noticed within your conversation you say black people and Africans, which you're making unique,
No, because
established or separation
I'm trying I'm
within the
trying to
conversation.
I'm trying to show you because I cannot speak for other people because some people are now saying they're aboriginals and some people are now saying they're Nijis. And rightfully so, they might actually have that DNA and genealogy in their families. So that means if I was to give like a specific title, I would say Black Americans are more admixed or a hybrid black people. That's what I would call it, but that would be just me like saying that because there is no
And
way.
I would say
Go on.
that's bull crowd. As a matter of fact, we know that a lot of Nigerians and people of the continent of Africa are mixed people. And
That's
not
true.
only
That
that,
is true.
they migrated to from somewhere else to the areas that they are at now. You see
That
what
is
I'm
very.
saying?
I mean, that is
Uh,
very true because I did the
I think a
DNA
lot of
lecture.
people, I think a lot
Go
of
on.
people look at Black Americans like we have an identity crisis, but in fact, we know exactly who we are rightfully, and we know who is not our people, and we're able to express that now with articulation.
I mean, that's a. I mean, I'll say that's a fair point. But from what I've studied, as far as like, because I did like a DNA lecture, which is like 2 hours. I think I even had like five lectures on that, and
Let
I
me
was
let
kind
me
of
ask you a question before I get you out of here. I got a couple people here. I want to ask you a couple questions on DNA. Just
sure,
real
sure,
quick, basic.
sure.
Is DNA associated with a landmass?
Is DNA associated with a landmass? I would say no.
Okay. So DNA cannot tell you what landmass you are from, correct?
I wouldn't say that. I would say it will show the people that have the same DNA in a specific region. That's how they will
Okay.
pinpoint.
Now, does DNA tell you where it comes from? Does it tell you this DNA comes from this landmass or this DNA comes from that landmass? Does it give you a distinguishing factors or does it able to equate for migration?
I think it can if it's coupled with other methodologies. Yes, it can.
I'm saying, has it been within the time of genealogy or DNA? Has it been associated with the landmass or migration? Has it been?
Yes, it has. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Can you give me a can you give me an example, please?
Like UAL University, like a lot of universities in England are actually studying that, and we have like a scientist in Nigeria. He's actually taking samples and actually comparing the samples and finding out that okay, there's ghost DNA that hasn't actually been tapped into, and they're finding bones and they're collecting that and taking samples and comparing that, and they're actually able to place specific tribes in different regions. So they're
Can you
doing
give me
that now.
this? Well, this will be a great study, right? This will be
Yeah.
game changing. Is what if this is true, is what you're explaining. Can you give me a example of ancient bones or who ancient bones were and how old they was that they did the DNA sample off of and who and where region of the continent did they compare it to? If you can give me
Uh,
an example.
I would say I'm
Because
talking
the reason I'm saying is because all the top genetics says that you cannot associate DNA with the landmass at all.
I wouldn't agree. Well, from the studies I've seen from actual like
And the reason I asked you that,
universities.
the reason I asked you that earlier is DNA associated with a landmass, and you simply said no, there wasn't a, and
I
that's
said,
the and that's the and that goes into the whole process of the DNA analogy, especially dealing with lamentations, dealing with the processing. But go ahead though. I just want you. I just want to allow that. Go ahead.
what I was actually saying is yeah, because there is a lot of things like because we gotta take into account like beings that were not actually fully humans. So we got the apes and we got the archaic beings.
So
Then you got
are you saying that the bones that they were able to dig up are not even actually human bones? Or is that what you're saying to me, sir?
well, if you look at the scales of these beings, they don't look the same size as human beings. But
See,
they're saying
see, see,
that's a common ancestor, though. That's what they're saying.
this is why we got to do critical thinking. Okay,
Yeah, go on.
you mean to tell me they skip over the human bones to go find non-human bones to do DNA studies off of?
If they're finding common ancestors, our ancestors are not going to be humans. They're going to be
No,
more
no, no.
ape
They
like.
out the common ancestor. So since you're saying that they did, what is the species of the common ancestor between humans and other ape species? What is that common ancestor that
They
we
will
all
call
see?
it. They will call it. The earliest ones will be like modern humans, which are archaic beings, which I'm talking about, which they're actually giants.
Well,
And if you put
archaic in a scientific term, much like paleo in the scientific term, is simply explaining uh uh a time period. Is explaining a time period.
I think they're also explaining the genetic actually evolution mutations, engineering, splicing. That's actually that has to be involved in that because there is various diverse genes, and we have human beings or archaic beings leaving Africa, going to some place, coming back and breeding with or crossbreeding back with Africans. Because if you look at African people's DNA, you go to Sudan today, you're gonna find that a lot of Sudanese people that the darkest ones, they actually have Middle Eastern DNA, like 30%. If you look at like Somalians, they got like 50%. You go to Ethiopia, they got like 50% like Middle Eastern DNA.
Well, and a lot of their origin stories explain their migration to the area, especially the Khoisan, which explains, which is one of the credited to being some of the oldest people in Africa. They're not even from Africa, according to their own history. And now, like you saying, according to
That
DNA.
from what a lot of people have said, because they don't look African, and me being Zulu, I've
So what
grown
you
up
got?
around.
So what you got is almost a reverse out of Africa theory, is what you're explaining. You're explaining that a lot of groups of people went into Africa instead of all these people making their way out of Africa. You're explaining groups of
S-
people coming in and migrating into Africa.
but the timeline is, this is the timeline. What they're saying, this is what the scientists are saying. They're saying the oldest beings, the most diverse beings you can ever find, that will be in Africa. This is what scientists are saying. But they're also
Right. And
saying that
listen,
they're also saying,
how do you get diversity? And that's simply
I'm
explained.
about to explain that. I'm about to explain that bit.
Okay.
Basically what they're saying that those archaic beings left Africa and they went to Asia, all these different places, different continents. And when they went there, they actually started to mutate, and some of them were coming back and back crossing and migrating back into Africa, and actually creating new species of beings.
That's not
Because
a
if you that's how
that's a theory. That's a theory. And that's part of the out of Africa theory. But simply diversity in Africa is not explained that way though. Uh,
but they're the most diverse though.
diversity, diverse diversity is explained through genetics. Population genetics or a bottleneck of a population, which deals with genetic bottlenecking, and genetic bottlenecking uh, gives birth to what we call diversity. So what I'm saying is, to have a diversity, you have to have large groups or small groups of people going into a particular area from different regions at the same time, at the same place, funneling in, and that gives diversity. So that explaining is still a migration into a place.
So where would they be getting all these DNAs inside of their DNA then? And even if you don't agree with the DNA, where
Goes
would
back
they
to
be getting the
multi-regional theory.
go on?
I
What
said
do you say?
it goes back to the multi-regional theory. But we got a couple people on here. I'm allowed to get on here.
Oh, cool,
So
bro. Cool, bro.
just sit in the back, and I here in a minute I'll do an open panel, and I'll allow you to come back on, brother. I appreciate you coming on. Shout out to Battle X. Let's get Battle X on here. What's going on, Battle X? Battle X.
Hey, shalom. Oh, my bad. My mic was muted. How's it going?
What's going on? Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. So you guys, I didn't catch the beginning of your stream. I got in just a few minutes ago, and I'm hearing you guys talking about um genetics and migration and
Yeah,
things.
we definitely didn't want to go down that road of genetics and migration. I just want to deal with foundational Americans, Aboriginal Americans, and and how foreign tethers come over here and undermine us and discredit our contributions. You know, so I was really wanting to deal with the trolls in the chat. This is why I gave this opportunity for people to get on. But since we got you on, what you can speak about whatever you want to speak about, brother.
Yeah, I
So
want.
state your
Yeah, I
name
want.
and where you coming from, big bro. State your name, where you coming from.
Oh, My name is Battle Axe. I'm from the organization One Nation Set Apart. Um, we are a street and YouTube organizations that teaches. And one of the things that I see that we are facing when it comes down to Black people elevating from what transpired, from what we've been through with the so-called white man, is that we're having identity issues. We got people saying that we're from America and we always been in America.
Let me stop you right there, because I
And
don't think, like I said, I don't think Black Americans is having or Aboriginal Americans having an identity crisis. I think we rightfully know exactly who we are.
Well, we're not having an identity crisis. I say we're having identity issues.
Well, we have
I'm
issues with foreign people that's not of our stock coming over here telling us who we is and who we ain't. That's what we have an issue with. Which we've been having this with all foreigners.
We're having issues with us all coming to pretty much three different conclusions, which is one set of or one category of Negroes in America believes that they are the people of the Bible, the people of Israel, the original.
How
Other
long have the
is
concept
that
of people in
America,
America believe they was
huh?
the people of the Bible? How long have the concept of so-called black people in America being the people of the Bible? How long has that been a concept in America? Was they teaching this in 1818?
I'm not going to say. I know that it first came out in a small sect in a church, the Church of Christ or something. I know you know what I'm talking about. But it's the first black Hebrew congregation in America.
But before it was called a Hebrew term, what was an establishment that gave birth to what we call Hebrew Israelite camps? Wasn't this the commandment keepers? Wasn't that the
Oh
name of
no,
them?
absolutely not. It was not the commandment keepers. No, the commandment keepers came way after. So it was actually the it was
I believe the commandment keepers was started what time frame was that? 19
no, I'm talking 1800s though. I'm talking about the 1800s. The church is still here today. It's called
what church in the 1800s was teaching Hebrew Israelite shit now?
in America. I'm trying to get to a computer right now because I'm on the phone. I'm trying to get to a computer so I can pull that up. But
Yeah,
yeah, just for the word of mouth, before I can get it, we can make the conversation advance still. Because
Battle Axe, are you still over there at Solar Mind Division Debate League?
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
you're not there no more. Okay.
I used to be over there though.
I thought I heard your voice before.
Yeah, you heard me. Yeah, that was me. I was over there.
Okay.
But it was a Baptist church, or not a Baptist church, but a Christian church. I'll say that it's a Christian church. It still exists to this day too. They actually started it in 1800s. But
it was a Christian church first.
Yeah, it was a Christian church that started the Hebrew Israelite black people identifying themselves as the biblical people of the Bible. That was actually done in America a long time ago, way before the commandment keepers.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna look into that. I shout out to you though, bro. I'm gonna let a couple of these other brothers on. I will let the full panel on in just a second. So just bear with me in the back, and I'll be with you in just a second, brother. Battle Axe. Hopefully you'll be by a computer by then too. My bad, I didn't mean to cut him out. Shout out to Cosmo. We're gonna get Cosmo in the building. Cosmo, what's going on, brother?
Hey, bro, nothing much. I'm just chilling. I just wanted to point out with the last few callers that you had, and I'm a Black American, and I only have one question, but I just want to say, in terms of like our history, we really need to, like now that we're identifying who we are, we need to go back and evaluate the history that's been taught to us, especially when it comes to
Cosmo.
Yeah.
Shout out to the brother Cosmo. Where you calling from? This is just for the viewers' sake. And
Georgia.
Georgia. Where your people's from, Cosmo?
My mom is, I mean, they're from Mississippi, or their ancestors, Mississippi and Oklahoma.
Okay. So you would say your people are aboriginal, or what you would say foundational to this land?
I believe that they were here when I did the research. It showed that my grandmother, I don't know what her last name was, but my like great grandmother, she lived in Muskogee Third Ward, and at the time that was Creek Native American territory. So, but I don't really know what her last name was. I
All
just
right, all right. Well, yeah, sounds like it. Hey man, just I encourage you to do genealogy, man. Keep doing your research, looking into your family history, lineage, and figuring out who you are, man. But yeah, well, go ahead, get to what you want to say. Your question at hand, brother. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh, no problem. So when it comes to genetics, a lot of people don't understand, and I understand this because I've like kind of looked at it a lot, and I'm really good with numbers. And what I've noticed is every time I look at a study looking at genetics and ancient bones, they don't test African American DNA with those bones. They'll go get remote populations from Africa and then test those populations.
Right.
And so like we're not even included into the genetics. And a lot of mixed people aren't included too because they're not seen as pure race. So it's like we could be more related to everybody, but like, the way that they define a race genetically doesn't have any causation. Like they can get a mutation. They say, oh, this mutation occurs more in this race, but there's no correlation or causation to show like there's any racial implications for this mutation. So they're just defining it in whatever way they want to define it.
No, that's a good point to bring up though, because I mean, how can you truly find association with ancient people by DNA analysis if you're not testing qualified people all around the globe?
You have to test all populations, including mixed populations.
Absolutely. I don't know when they ever did a DNA testing in my motherfucking neighborhood. Shit.
Yeah. No, they don't. Like if they do DNA testing with Black Americans, they specifically go to the Geechee people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're right about that. Shout out to the brother Cosmo. That's a good point, man. I'm gonna let you back on in just a second with the rest of the other brothers in the back. I'll get with you in just a second, brother. Appreciate you for coming on. Shout out to the brother Cosmo for coming on. We got I am. What's up, I am?
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm rolling with you, man. So I'll wait.
Okay, you ain't got no question, nothing.
Oh well, yeah. I'm the one told Battle Axe to come on because he's anti Negroes being Aboriginals to the Americas. So I told him to come on. You talked to him, I think the man before. So yeah, we just inviting people, because you wanted all the opposition, all the people who go against it. He goes against that. And I'm saying that I think he's wrong for doing that, but he's free to do what he want to do. But
I appreciate you for bringing some viewers over here to learn a little bit, and I'm willing to learn as well. We don't know everything, so shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 465 people on here. I'm gonna play a little more of this audio that I have for the viewers, and we're gonna open the panel up. So those that still on here, just bear with me, stick on the back. Y'all can listen in to the audio as well. So shout out to everybody in the chat. I want to say peace and blessings once again to everybody. This is a dope live stream. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure y'all share the live stream and support the channel. We're gonna take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be back in just a second.
Suave on the track. Whatever it takes. Alleyway. Coco, this your season right now. They won't see me. They won't let me yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them they gon' see me. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they gon' see me.
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Everybody in the chat, man. Peace and blessings. Hey, man, shout out to all the American Aborigines and the FBA brothers and sisters that's tuning in and supporting the channel. Can I have y'all drop those fire emojis in the chat to let me know that y'all are in here with Big Aboriginal Power, aka Copper Grizzly, man. I appreciate everybody. For those that's in the back, we will get to y'all in just a second. We will have a full open panel, so everybody will be able to hit the link or call in to the call-in line that we have for y'all. You call in the Wake and Bake call in. Let's continue the audio that I have in hand. We'll be right with y'all guys in just a second. Drop those fire emojis, man. If y'all are proud FBA / Aboriginal brothers and sisters.
What's going on? What's up? All right.
My fault, brother. I walked away from the phone. What's going on?
I'm good. What's on your mind, man?
Nothing much. I'm somebody else on?
Yeah, you fine.
Yeah, it looks like I'm on through, brother.
Hold on. Wait. Who's talking? Wait. Okay, who's that? Akanu talking?
Yeah, Akanu James. Yeah, you can call me James. That's good.
Oh, James. So what's on? Where are you? You in Canada?
Yeah, I actually am, brother. I'm up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
There you go. You're a Caucasian gentleman, right?
No. Actually, I'm biracial.
Okay.
My mother's side of the family is the black side of the family, which I grew up in, was raised in, because my grandfather on the white side left my father and his family in high school because he would not stop dating my mother, who was a black woman. So he told him to pack his bags and get out the house.
Now, is your mother from the Caribbean?
No. My mother was born and raised here in Canada. My family came up from
Yeah, don't block nobody. We don't block people over here. That's a fact, y'all. Hey, Big Chief, get them now. Yeah, I mean, we ain't blocking nobody. Let me know who blocked somebody. Who did the blocking? Who did
Kansas through the through the Oklahoma Trek, and that was coming out now. So our lineage goes back to slavery, and even all the genealogy research I have done, I actually have a copy of a will of a slave owner who, upon death, released his slaves from bondage, and that is as far as I can go back for a family member of mine.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, so what else is on your mind, sir?
Well, this whole topic of racism denial is a perfect one here for where I am situated, because a lot of people look towards Canada as this land of like milk and honey for no racism, going on whatsoever.
Man, there's a lot of them here. There's a lot of white supremacists.
Oh, well, there is so many black people that do deny that it actually happens. It's a strange occurrence, because I don't know how they can say that even after personal experience going through so many different things. I mean, up here in Canada, we have so many neo-Nazi groups. Stormfront, Aryan Guard was born here in Calgary. The Proud Boys that were supporting Trump, they came from our nation's capital. And
isn't Gavin McInnes is from there, right?
Yeah. We even have white supremacist groups that are directly tied in with our politicians. I mean, right here, our premier, he is for Alberta. He's seen posing in pictures with groups like the Sons of Odin. These are white supremacist groups and everything. So in rural Alberta, there are still chapters of the KKK. In Saskatchewan, in Manitoba, it is alive and well and kicking up here, and people do deny it because they want this facade that, oh, you've made it up from America, and Canada is so much better. A lot of Canadians are elitist and they like to look down on Americans, especially Black Americans. Yeah. And they love to look down on them because it makes them feel better about themselves, and they can kind of justify and kind of like push aside away the racism that they do have to acknowledge. And
those truckers up there, that whole trucker thing that they got going on, those are a bunch of white supremacists.
All that is a whole white supremacist movement, the Freedom Convoy, quote unquote, right? Yeah, for those that don't know, they just got sick of wearing masks, and they decided to, all these truckers through Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, drove to the nation's capital to occupy it, to protest out front what we have for our House speakers and everything, and they occupied some towns along the border, like Coots was one. At one point in time,
we have some brothers and sisters in the back lobby waiting to be let on. We will get to y'all in just a second. We'll finish this audio out and we'll get to y'all in just a second. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all go thumb up the video. It's very important for you guys to go thumb up the video.
RCMP found that they had at Coots, one of their trucks was full of about 200 automatic assault rifles.
Wow.
And let them go. Let them go without a hitch. And I mean, the crazy thing is all of the mask wearing mandates are provincial affairs. Our premiers dictate that, not the federal government. But they wanted to make this, all of these white supremacists wanted to make a national state. They wanted to make something bigger out of this. All they did, I mean, like they were out there with their swastika flags and things like this. Different groups and just partying around. They had like hot tubs up there that they're partying with, grills and everything, beer kegs. This is
heavy
sentimentality.
That's heavy. Thank for the call. I had to land the plane, but yeah, it's heavy up there. It's real heavy up there. And I tell people all the time, these white supremacists up there in Canada, they sit here and act like there's no racism there. Oh, we're Canadian. We love everybody, man. Please. I done battled so many damn white supremacists out of Canada. They're up there heavy. Silicone, hop on, man. Turn your microphone on, Silicone.
Hi, sorry. Yes, I am geneticist, predominantly from Russia, but also parts of Upper Caucasus, my dad's side.
Okay.
I had a question about the pocket watching phenomenon. Again, this seems like haplogroup phenomenon, this step radar mentality, but I researched R1B. It's also prevalent in Chad. Is this Chad and Cameroon? Is this why we see this predominant phenomenon where people are too concerned with other people's sins? This seems to be a major problem for development of society.
Have you done some scientific research on the medicinal purposes of mayonnaise?
Of what? Sorry, connection spotty because of Putin bomber overhead.
Right. Have you done some scientific research on the medicinal properties of how has mayonnaise helped you medically?
Well, as long as it has no seed oil, is good, right? Mayonnaise with beef tallow or olive oil is good, but with the canola, it make you gay.
Also, since you're a geneticist, have you found something that will cover wet dog smell?
That's not genetics, Tariq. I know you are elite in everything. I know maybe that sandwich, the gay sandwich.
We're talking genetics. We're talking about genetics. Have you done something to cure severe head lice? Anything for that?
There's also not genetics, you know.
No genetics for the head lice or the wet dog smell?
Not that I know. I mostly do paleogenetics, genetics of old Old populations.
So do those old European bones smell like wet dogs?
I do not work with bones. I do samples from the ice. I dig things up from under the ice, the antediluvian civilizations, the things that
you say did you say the ice or the lice? I didn't know which one was it, the ice or the lice. I don't know which one it is, but anyway. Let's get John. John, hop on, brother.
What's good, man? How you feeling?
I'm good. How you doing, family?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just speaking on the topic of racism denial, I kind of see it from an interesting perspective. Having grown up, I'm a black person, black man. Having grown up in a
Y'all want to support the channel? Links and tags at the bottom right of the screen. Support the channel. Support the channel. Thumb up the video and share the live stream as well, you guys.
Say like 99.9% black town. It's right outside the west side of Chicago. It's called Maywood.
Yeah.
And from and I'm talking literally in the schools I went to, maybe one white person, two white people in those schools. And once my parents divorced, I went from there into a complete culture shock of where I'm the only or one of two or three black people. And what I noticed immediately, when you start seeing black people deny racism and cozy up to racists, it's strictly a defeatist attitude. They've given up. They completely given up. I seen it. So I went out there probably 13, 14. So, coming from that to that, where I'm still growing, but also knowing what's going on in the world, it's like.
Thank you so much, brother. We got to land that plane, guys. Y'all all over the place. Thank you so much. Let's get Ash Cash in here. Ash Cash.
Hey, Tariq, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sound like you're on a Bluetooth or something, but I can hear you good enough. Private.
Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm just leaving work. I just wanted to say, I've been a follower for so many years. I fuck with you 100%. I'm sorry for cursing.
Okay.
And Hidden Colors changed my life. I just wanted to tell you that. And my way of thought, we appreciate you. The real FBAs appreciate you. And that call with the Nigerian guy was hilarious. I'm so happy you made me laugh after work.
Thank you so much. Be good. Be safe out there. Shout out to that lovely sister. Man. Oh, Lord.
Make sure y'all thumb up the video, brother.
Definitely a wake-up call that black people globally needed to have, that you guys are writing out for us.
Yeah.
And of course, we follow what you guys do. So it's like, you guys are the trendsetters. So, we are always looking at what you're doing, and then we do that next. So, it's crazy to me the fact that like a lot of Haitians are talking, a lot of mess right now because we need y'all. We need y'all to rise up. We need y'all to, keep fighting because that's what's going to liberate all of us globally.
No doubt, man. Thank you so much for the call, brother. Much respect to you. All right, let's get a couple of more folks in here. We won't be on too long. We'll get one or two more. Let's get some good ones. Raise your hand if you want to get on. If you want to get on, raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get on. I think I've had FaZe on here before. FaZe, hop on. I think I've had you on here before, FaZe. FaZe, hop on real quick, and then we'll get what's this brother's name? Okiki?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, pretty good. So I just had a question, not particularly pertaining to the topic, but I just had a question so I love your movement. I love what you do, and I'm standing with you and what you, everything, the whole movement, but I'm just confused why you push reparations, but capitalism is that direct problem for the black community and everybody's problem, like the masses, because it's only beneficial for the 1%. So I just wanted to know, why push reparations when capitalism is the direct problem? I'm sorry about
that. Man, we live in a capitalistic society, so we got to get money. Shit, we don't live in a society. We live in a society where you have to have money.
No, but that's the problem. That's the black community's direct problem as well as everybody else's problem. But really,
see, when niggas start talking about fuck your money, don't worry about money, this is tether talk. I can smell it. This is a non-Aboriginal, a non-FBA, if you will. This is tether talk. This is coon buffer class talk.
Really bad is the black community it affects. So like when you're asking for reparations, you're contributing to your enslavement even more, you know, and systemic racism because you can't have capital.
Tethers is foreign blacks that come over here and act like black Americans.
Without systemic racism and vice versa.
Okay. Now, where's your family from?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Fact.
Okay.
I'm from America though.
Now,
knew it was something. You see what I'm saying? Tether talk. Bullseye.
Okay, but then Puerto Rico was in America for a while. It was Spanish territory.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
And yeah, it was dominated, and people were making money for Spain. They built up the Spanish economy because of labor. You understand? So shouldn't Puerto Ricans be compensated for that labor instead of being in a position where they have to get the hell out of that island and come over here?
No, absolutely, and that's exactly why I'm so passionate about it, because I feel like nothing they could offer my ancestors and your ancestors could ever replace the damage they've done.
No, don't speak for us. Don't speak for us. Yes, they can. They can give me money. They can.
But the thing is, the money that you want is controlled by your oppressors. So you're asking for money from the oppressors that literally slaughtered our ancestors. Your ancestors and my
yes. Why shouldn't they give me money?
Because it's literally contributing. Like, all right, so I'm not sure if you know how capitalism works, or if you just know.
I do. What's the alternative?
Land, absolutely land.
Dude, no, because you can use the money to buy land, sir. You need money to maintain the land. You understand that?
But the thing is, when you use money, they control it. So I'm not sure if you are aware of the Rothschilds.
They control the land too.
But they don't. They can't. Bro, if you decided today and if you had your movement all stand together, bro, if you had your movement stand together, you could take your land, but you can't take their money because they're printing it. They control it.
What's up? How you doing?
Hold on, Okiki. What land phase do the white supremacists not control?
I mean, they control it because we allow them to, but can you take it back? Absolutely.
Okay, brother. Thank you. You're talking in circles now. Now you're saying they do control the land, so land don't matter either. Give me the money. If we're going to be under the system, give me the money. Oh, Kiki, what's up, man? I know you're angry.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Kiki?
I am doing fine. Talking out of San Jose, New Mexico.
So you're in Mexico? Wait, you're in Mexico or New Mexico?
New Mexico, Santa Fe.
Okay, now where are you from originally, Kiki?
Originally from Nigeria. I grew up in what used to be a slave port. So right now I'm in New Mexico studying with UNM. The question I wanted to ask is, what happened to the Americans that went to Liberia to start up all over there? What happened to them?
What happened in Liberia, a lot of Foundation of Black Americans actually died over there. Thousands of them died because of the diseases, because of the living conditions. Also, a lot of Caribbeans went over there to Liberia. They leave that part out. A lot of people who went to Liberia were Caribbeans, and they brought other people from African nations over to Liberia. So it wasn't just Black Americans.
Definitely it wasn't. So
and that Liberia situation was really orchestrated by the white supremacists because they were the colonization society. Those were white people who were sending free Black people who were really their mulatto children to a certain degree. They were sending free Black people over there. So it was a cluster flop even before it began. So, that wasn't anything that was really, really, truly controlled by the grassroots. That was a mess from day one.
I kind of understand it, but I just wanted to say stuff because I worked with Professor Ramna Bandele, and she actually did a research on the Black Star Line, which was actually carried out by Jamaicans. And one thing that they pointed out in that study was that the ego of Marcus Garvey and those around him made it impossible for them to work with Africans, especially West Africans. And I would like you to put yourself in the shoes. If just imagine yourself calling Garvey the president of Africa, and an African that studied in Oxford is hearing that. Do you think there would be some kind of, understanding between both? or would they have a difference in terms of views of people coming from Africa understanding that there are lots of tribal differences, lots of, issues that has happened because of colonialism and all of the white supremacy that was been seen over the past 500 years. Do you think that can bring about a kind of unity?
Well, if people come over there with the right mentality, they can have a working relationship. Unity is a very selective term. I would say a working relationship where we build, because unity is a relative term.
It is. Okay, let me just play you some tape now. I am Igbo from Nigeria.
Hold on. We got to have a working relationship. Where we're doing business where it's equitable. Like immigrants come over here and there's a working relationship, and we're all about the unity thing, but we really, we don't really benefit from it as foundational Black Americans. So this is why we're questioning a lot of things now. So anyway, but thank you for the call, Ukuki. I forgot, I can't pronounce your name, but shout out to that brother. All right, let's get okay. Who is this person? Booty Flavor. Okay, Booty Flavor. Let's hop on, Booty Flavor. Real interesting name, but hop on, man.
What's up, Tariq? How are you today?
What's up, man? What's your screen name, brother?
Captain Booty. It's a moniker I go by, but
Captain Booty.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
But this been on my mind today. I think like Amanda Seales had put out a post about something today, and it just struck me that as a people, and the Puerto Rican brother that came up saying his spiel, it's like as a people, we don't know the game that's being played. We're focused on everything else but the larger game that's being played, which is money and power. And without the perspective that we're caught up in this money and power game, whether we like it or not, we lose track of everything. That goes from the African people in America to Africa. It's like we're not playing the larger game. We don't have a stake in the larger game. So we come to the table with nothing, constantly asking the other people, the European, the white people, to do something for us, right? We don't have no leverage. We don't have no collective leverage as a people. So we're always asking, and then we kind of like go to each other and we kind of like spread this mentality like, oh, we're beat down. You know what I mean? We can't get nothing, when we should be looking at teaching each other the larger game is being played on the larger level, and getting ourselves some leverage to play in that game. Otherwise, you get shit like the guy who was just up there. Oh, we got to get land. Well, guess what? You control a lot of land, but guess what? You just can't control the resources around that land. You still need to get resources. You still need to play in this economic game. You can't just sit out of it and expect the conditions to get better.
So what did you suggest we start to accumulate to leverage?
I think it's knowledge. I think we really have to generally change the conversations around racism and race and in the culture, and we need to start spreading knowledge of, hey, there's a larger game at play here, and these are the things we can do to enter the game, right? Because we're in a game that we don't even know we're in for the most part. A lot of us don't even know that we're in the game. So again, we have to.
With a nigga named like Captain Booty, he done gave up that pussy. He not trying to fight.
Spread the knowledge that, hey, yes, there's racism. Yes, there's all these things against us.
He don't want to get in position for power because he's in position to get up that booty.
But hey, guess what? These are the ways that we can get in and we can get leverage, right? We don't have to go sit and ask somebody else to give us something that we are very capable of getting for.
Thank you, brother. If you notice, my man didn't answer the question. My man started to do a bunch of catchphrases. He said, we need something to leverage. Okay, what do we leverage? We need knowledge. We just need to get the knowledge. That's not leverage. How do you leverage knowledge? You see, when it comes down, when it comes time to talk about something practical, we get people who want to talk in circles. Just like the Puerto Rican dude who's not qualified to get reparations. You notice how people who are not qualified to get reparations will jump in our conversation telling us what we shouldn't be trying to get. Y'all shouldn't try to get money. That's just like more slavery. I've been telling people, folks who are not qualified to get reparations will go out of their way to come among us to undermine us. They will get around us and try to talk and sow seeds of doubt and try to bring things that will ultimately try to undermine us. Y'all shouldn't get no money. It's capitalism society. It should be about land. Dude, they control the land too. We got to go to them for the land too. If we're going to get land, we got to get it from them. They control everything. We're in a global prison called white supremacy. So within that prison, you get and you fight for certain things that you need to sustain yourself within the damn prison until you figure out how to get out of that damn prison. But that's what we're doing with the reparations thing, because now what we are leveraging is our political base, okay? Because see, in order to maintain the system, you got to ride that treadmill. You got to be willing to vote for that system. You have to participate in that system. And right now, we're talking about not voting. We're not trying to support the Democrats. So they're desperate. So they have to get us on that treadmill, because then if we don't participate in that system, the next logical step is people coming up with ways to get out of the system completely. That's what you leverage.
All right, man. So now I'm about to get ready to drop the phone lines. I'm about to get ready to open up the phone lines. We're going to end that live right there. Y'all can go check the rest of that out on the brother channel. Let's get ready to drop this phone lines open. And I'm going to get ready to open the panel as well. We're going to take a quick 1 minute break. And we'll be right back with y'all in just a second. So make sure y'all share the live stream. Share the live stream.
Suave on the track. Whatever it takes. The alleyway. Coco, this your season right now. They won't see me. They won't let me I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all in my blood, all in my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair right numb his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. We got a few brothers on the panel right now. Shout out to everybody that's tapped in to the channel. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat. We got the brother, the I Am, Cosmo, Don P, Unique, FBA, and Battle Axe. in the building. What's going on?
Shalom.
Hey, man.
Hello.
What's good, family?
What's going on, unique apparition? I'm gonna give you the opportunity to speak first, ladies first, and plus you fresh on the panel, so I don't believe I had you on the panel before. So peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. I want to ask a question. What do we do with the immigrants and the Democratic Party? What do we do with them who keep undermining us? Like, what do we do with them?
We gotta check them and speak and let people know that they don't speak on behalf of us. You know, they're not us, and they can't speak for us nor make judgment for us. Uh, that's really what we gotta do is voice that opinion, uh, and get people aware of that. You know, this is what the tether foreign class do. They come over, they act like you, they call themselves black, they get to these positions.
Also, when do we go to the census and change our um go to the census and change our lineage? Like, how can we do that? So
Say
therefore,
that.
for
Say that one more
reparations,
time.
for us to get reparation only for us, when do we go change our census to for our lineage to be aboriginal? Like, when do we do that?
Uh, you can start changing it now. But at the end of the day, we will still have to form one large body to be able to get that particular plan, which I think that's what we're doing now by just identifying who we are. We are one large body. We are separate from other groups. You see what I'm saying? I just believe
Correct.
it just got to be voiced. They're just not listening. I believe it's already formulated. I believe it's already strategized. The restitution and the reparations is already lined up. We have everything ready to go. They just not hearing the stuff. We need to, make this one large body and his voice a little louder. So I believe that's what we're doing now.
Okay. Okay.
Appreciate you calling in, unique.
What's going on, man? Yeah, this is Battle Axe talking.
What's
Uh,
going on, Lex?
yeah, well, we was talking about this thing. I think it was me and you that were discussing earlier about this, the beginning of the Israelites being the commandment keepers, right?
Right.
When
Something like that.
I was saying, no,
I
they
forget what the conversation was about, but yeah, you was like the Hebrew Israelites, that's part of the identity crisis, which I agree. And I asked you, was that ideology or something that was being taught and pushed in the 1800s? And I believe you was
yeah,
looking
it
for
was,
those. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
more of a recent phenomenon.
yeah, that it was, but yeah, it didn't really take hold or catch footing all the way up until recently.
No,
So
but that means like you. But that is what you just said is assuming that like they were talking about this like way before the 1800s. It's just that it wasn't big enough in terms of in the media of America. But no, they
no,
like you have to clarify.
that's not what I was saying. I was just saying that it existed before the commandment keepers. And the commandment keepers came out with that in the 1900s, in the 20th century. With the late 19th century, there was a lot of other groups that was actually coming out saying that it wasn't just an isolated church event. It was a lot of them. It says dozens of Black Hebrew organizations were established. So they just start off, in particularly in 1919, saying in Harlem there were 8, and it was first the commandment keepers of that city. But nobody's been saying that the commandment keepers was the first one to come up with that. But anyways, what I'm saying about these identity issues, not really a crisis, but I guess some people would say that that's what we're having. But it's just issue. one of the things is I have to ask folks. I said, are the Aboriginal people that you guys claiming that is the original inhabitants of this land, are they the same people as we are today? I'm talking about like us, the so-called African American. Are we part of that, or are
Yeah.
you saying these Aboriginals are a completely set of dudes that most of us aren't? But like, what are you guys basically really saying?
You know what the word aboriginal mean?
Yeah, isn't it like original? You know what I'm saying, to the place, the
Yeah,
first.
first inhabitants. Yeah,
Yeah,
since the beginning of time.
right. So I'm saying, so we are those people. You're saying,
Yeah, yes, sir.
okay. My question would be, I'm saying, but how how was it that the Western world was beating us in the technological advancements if we are the people over here that's coming up with all the technological advancements still to this day?
I'm not understanding your question, sir.
In the Western, I mean, in the Western world, it wasn't as advanced technologically as it was over there in the Eastern world. And when I'm saying technological, I'm talking about
Says,
I'm
says
talking
who?
about the uses of materials to make certain things like
Like,
helmets and swords and machinery like catapults and guns and
what
so that
did
sort, like
you?
that's all in the Eastern world. It's clear and evident that in the
I think
Eastern
I think
in the,
you got it backwards, bro. You sound like you're just rambling about shit.
I'm
Like
not
I don't know. I'm trying to see what you're talking about. But the Americas had everything you got to offer, and they has the oldest forms of it. When it comes to metallurgy, when it comes to when it comes to agriculture, irrigation, masonry, this is all found here in its oldest form, in its most prestige, a conglomerate of forms here. So what do you say
which in
we
particular
lack
items are you
science or advancements in the Western world? When you come to America, you see nothing but advancement, and you see nothing but the opposite of advancements in the Eastern world.
I'm talking about when they came over here, the Native Americans was running around in animal skin.
Well, Native Americans are not Aboriginal. Native Americans also have a history of coming here. You know, that's how they say they came here
But
from the
did they,
Bering Strait, which is Siberia, and them people still today wear animal skin. So that's
so
part of their culture.
you guys
But
never do?
Aboriginal people here had already built buildings here. When the European got here, we already had buildings here.
So
They
wait,
got rid of
you
these. They got
said
roads already. They already practicing medicine. They already performing surgery long before the European got here. Sir, matter of fact, military and agricultural tactics that has been implemented and spread across the world is strictly a custom derived from Aboriginal Americans. Sir, what are you
right,
talking
so
about?
basically it's trying to imply is that there was this was a continent full of millions,
What
if
you
not
gotta what you gotta realize is
quick,
before
this
the
full of
European
billions of
came here,
people. You're basically
before
saying
the
this was a
European came here, we had
hold
foreigner
on, let me
invaders. Hold
see if you
on,
can get me straight. Let
you
me see
gotta
if I
have a you got to
right
have an understanding because you already alluded to a false narrative. You
no.
started to talk about the Aboriginal inhabitants, but then brought up Native Americans.
So I know
So,
they do
but
exist.
but while overlooking Olmec, Mayan, Inca contributions, you went straight to Native American,
Hold
naked Native Americans
on. Wait, well,
as
you're
the
doing the
template.
narrative.
So now we got to explain how did Native Americans or Asian enslaved or Asian invaders come to this land? When did they come here? Who was occupying the land when they got here?
I
So
know that
before
some Asians.
European invaders,
I know that
you
they
had
Asians, and I know that
Asian
they over
invaders,
here.
sir.
I know that they Asians. I know that they showed up over here. But what I do know also is that there's a lot of them. It wasn't just a few hundred. These people was up here in the millions. So, what you're implying,
Oh,
the only way that I can conclude and see what you're saying is you're saying that these two societies of millions of people each existed in two vacuums. They existed in a vacuum?
well, no, it was a system, and it was people wandering. Then it was different waves starting at different time periods leading up to now is the reason you see these people here. But inquiring in first of these people, the Asian phenotype that you see here, they depict it on the codexes, the Mendoza codexes of what happened when these invaders got here and who snatched them up and who was the authority people here, the black, the melanated aboriginal people here, the people that you would call Inca, Maya, Olmec. Matter of fact, let's pull up one of the Mendoza codexes right quick. This
How,
is the actual primary research right here on the screen of aboriginal snatching up a foreign Asian invader that we're now speaking of right now.
um, so you're trying to say that that right there is a
This is a primary. This is what the actual people of this land depicted and also wrote
so
down
you
in
say
their records.
Negro?
Huh?
You saying that a Negro depicted himself in blackface?
That's not a black face, sir.
That's blackface. That's
He actually the black is a tattoo that's or the line that's going through his face. His skin is depicted as a normal brown brother, like you see.
no, that's, but in a caricature that is now today classified as blackface.
Yes, because a lot of these foreign
The
invaders, the reason you
hypers and
have blackface,
and to
because
degrade
a lot of
black,
these foreign invaders try to replicate your culture, sir.
no,
But this is not
the caricature of the blackface is a
why would an Aboriginal get in blackface, sir?
we
This
don't
is
look
his
like
actual
our
face.
lips don't look like that.
That's the way his lips is depicted, brother. That's the way
But
he's
that's not how
depicted.
our lips look. And if you can look at the
Your
rest of the
lips,
drawing, they were
your
being
lips are big
anatomically
and pink, brother.
look. If you look at
I
the
see, I
drawing,
see, I see big pink lip motherfuckers all the time, brother. I
but the
see
rest of
big
the
pink
drawing
lip
is
people
anatomically.
all. Listen, brother, I see people that look like this all the time.
I have never seen anybody that has their lips overextended into their face. That is not.
Well, you gotta realize this is not an actual photo of a person. This
But
is a this is
they're
a,
being
this is a drawing rendition from 2,000 years ago. I mean, about 1,000 years ago. Is
but
this what you're looking at here, right?
it's still anatomically correct. He even has his kneecap indentions on there, so they're being anatomically correct.
And they're also being phenotypical correct, showing that this is a Negro, not a blackface, snatching up a little Asian, and it
Yeah,
also showing it by height. We know
almost
that Asians typically are shorter than melanated Negroes of America, and it's showing it here with the customs and
And
these
what is
same
that
customs
next
you
to that?
see.
What is that writing next to that? Isn't that cursive?
That is Latin.
Yeah, but cursive, right?
No, I mean it's
Latin.
Latin, bro.
So what is this picture are we looking at? Why is there
You're looking at a translated form from the Latin into English. So you're looking at the Mendoza Codex. You can go look this up. This is a
those are codes
primary.
written in Latin?
You can go look up the
Yeah,
actual
people always trying to debate.
Latin. The
I'm just
actual language that was spoken was Nahuatl.
because this
Nahuatl was
look like an ancient
spoken.
drawing. This looked like a
So
drawing that was
translated from
drawn.
Nahuatl into Latin into English.
This doesn't look like an ancient drawing. This looks like a drawing that was colored and drawn very
I
recent.
know. Listen, instead of taking my word for it, I gave you the actual name of the source, and you can go to the Mendoza Codex and look up this same primary and go to the actual source as well. I would just happen to pull up a one depiction picture that I have screenshotted of this actual primary.
So can we go to the Olmec heads and then can you go to the Olmec people?
So can you go to the primary to debunk it? What I'm saying instead
Yeah,
of
the
inserting
primary
your
would be
bull.
the people that's actually in that area. That would be the primarily first thing you would encounter if you go
Yeah,
and
but
see
they
that.
know that this,
And that'll
they
be the
got
first that you're going
cultures.
to have to
So
analyze
here,
also,
so
do comparison and see that
primary.
does the Olmec heads match with the people that's in that area. And if they don't, then we can move forward and say start looking for who they do match. But if they do match the people that's in that area, it'll be safe to assume that those people's ancestors is what's being depicted on the Olmec heads.
How can those people be the heads that's depicted when these people hadn't been here longer than 1,000 years in these areas occupying the land?
They don't say that though.
Actually, they do. If you get
No.
into Aztec culture, which is the first invaders that you see hitting the land, right? On record, you can't show me no other invaders invading Mayan or Olmec culture or nations.
You can still find Aboriginal.
Aztec or foreign Asian
You can still find Aboriginals.
So you have an open history of Olmec nations being invaded by these same people you're giving the credit to who being the original Olmec. That's crazy.
Well, they're there. They look just like them. Even a lot of
They
those Olmec heads look very, very
no no no
Asian.
no no.
Wait a
See
minute, why you
that's
gonna cut me off on that? Even a lot of those Olmec heads look Asian.
so are you saying that Mexicans, these people that we call Asians today or Mexicans today, are the original people of America, sir?
I'm saying that all I'm saying is that the Olmec heads
Are you can keep
are
saying
matching
keep
those
saying that the
people.
people in those areas look like the Olmec statues. Those people in the areas that we
Yeah.
call Mexico, the people that we call a Mexican today. Are you saying that these are the original people?
I didn't say that they the Mexican. If you look at those Olmec heads, it ain't Mexicans that's sitting there. Those
You
people that
believe the
around.
Olmecs are Asians,
Just all you got to do
sir?
is pull up the Olmec heads. I don't know why you asking me all these questions.
I'm asking you a question. Do you
It's
believe
a matter of
Olmecs
the
are Asians?
buttons.
It's a simple yes or no.
I don't believe that they're Mexicans.
I
Mex-
said, do you believe that they are Asians? Listen, sir.
yeah, they're Mexicans and Native Americans have a lot of Asian in them. A lot
I
of
know they do.
the
Matter of fact, there's really no difference. If you knew that a Mexican, right, or an Asian is just a Mexican. An Asian is a enslaved Mexican. A Mexican is an enslaved Asian at this point.
well,
In Colombia,
A Mexican,
got
he's
a whole book
the
called From
see,
Chinos
they got
to
a lot of
India.
Spaniard blood and they got a lot of European Edomite white Spaniard blood in them.
Listen, they have a
But
historical
the
book
Native
that goes into
American, the
listen,
actual
they
real
got a
Native
historical
American,
book
yeah,
that goes into the involvement of the enslaved Asians here. It's
but what
called the
you
Asian
move
slave trade.
goalposts. I'm
The
saying pull the
slave
Olmec head
trade
up.
from
If you pull that
Chinos to
Olmec heads up, if you pull that up on Google right now and just go down the list, you gonna see it and you'll stop saying it because it's clear and evident. They're not black people. Those Olmec
well,
heads
who are
are
they
not black
then, sir?
people.
Who are they then, sir?
Just pull them up and you'll see. No, go to Google. Don't go. Come on, you gonna try to say a black man looks like that on the right?
I've seen black people that look like this,
Never
brother.
seen
You can't
nobody black look like that. Now go now. Just go to simple Google so we can get all of them, and just go and then go to images. You see, but you got yours prepped. You're pulling up yours that's prepped.
I'm just pulling up random Olmec pictures,
No, you're
bro.
pulling up. These are not. It's not random. What will be random is if you go
On
to Google.
sir.
If you share your screen and go straight to Google
When you look at
and
Olmecs,
just
you see nothing
type it
but
up.
matter of fact, listen, listen. One of the oldest uh do they call Asians Negroes?
Do they call Asians Negroes?
Yes.
It depends on if they're dark. They got them dark Asians out there. It's still
Are
out
these
right
Asians
now.
that we're talking to, would you consider the Olmec a Negro?
No, the Olmecs are not Negroes, man.
Okay, then. Well, let's get into one of
Oh,
the oldest
but when you pull
Olmecs.
up Olmec head,
Hold on, mute yourself. Let's get into one of the oldest Olmecs found here, sir. You know what the name of that statue is, sir?
You're asking me the questions about
Yes, you know,
something that I
they call him El Negro. It's rhetorical. You should know
you're
that.
asking questions about something that
So
you believe in.
when
You
you
can
pull
show.
up, when you go to your, I want everybody in the chat to go type in Olmec statue El Negro.
You see, that's isolating though. You this is called isolating research or
No, no,
selective
no. What
research.
I'm doing
This is
is
called
we're
selective
leading up.
research.
If
You're
we're gonna
not
deal with Olmec,
you're
if
not
we're gonna deal with
up,
Olmec statues, let's deal with the oldest one and the
but
first
you're
one.
not, but this is still called selective research. I can do that with marbles too. I can show you a gray marble. But but that doesn't mean that all marbles are gray.
Now
But
pull up a
but all
scientific.
I'm trying to say
Pull up
is
a
I'm just saying simply
what I
why would
want you to do, Battle Axe, is give me a scientific journal report from an academic studies that
exactly
says that the phenotype of the Olmec is Asian.
look at this. I can just pull up the Olmec and I can look at the Olmec people and I will be able to determine
Sir,
if they're Asian or not.
you're not expertise on this. I want to see something
We
that has
have
been peer
expertise.
reviewed by multiple eyes that has been put out in an academic study, sir. So can you
Brother,
give me an academic study, scientific journal report that says that the Olmec are Asian, sir? I wait.
all right, I'll pull something up.
Let me
Olmec
get my
people
more
are
on her.
Asian. Watch this.
Are you screen sharing, sir?
I'll be able to I won't be able to screen share because I'm on the phone, but I do have a like a little pad in front of me.
All right, I'm gonna mute you up. I'm gonna get to a couple of these other brothers while you pull that up, brother. We'll wait on it patiently. Shout out to Don P. Shout out to I Am. Shout out to Alabama. Peace and blessings to you, brothers. How y'all feeling?
What's up, G? How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's going on, Don P? You guys speak up a little bit. You're a little low on the mic. Peace and blessings, though.
Can you hear me? Hold on.
AP, my brother from another mother.
Already, what's going on, Alabama?
It's your world. I'm just a squirrel. You know, this old turtle crawling out of the shell. May I offer something for a consideration to you, my brother? You know, I was listening to quite a bit, not just what Tariq was offering, but this last brother that was on, not just talking about this blackface nonsense. You know, the whole issue of black is going to have to be squashed eventually. Now, that's going to be in your time, not in mine, because I'm a little bit long in the tooth, a little bit older than most of you. So forgive me as I always ask. Our generation dropped the ball. But anything that's with black as a connotation, it's got to be squashed. As far as land is concerned, and you were right on point, not only with the DNA thing, can I offer a thought on this? If you're going to talk about DNA tracing to any supposed piece of land, aren't you talking about minerals, plant life, and possible animals? So when that science of thought heads in that direction, they are going to start grouping certain DNA patterns, for example, the foodstuffs and the diet. Now, you've already said, and you've tried to share with people who are obviously ignorant or don't want to listen, that more than 600 of the 640 supposed native plants on the motherland continent originated from Turtle Island. Is that correct, my young brother?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So then, should not DNA prove that simple fact?
It should.
So then, again, I'm just speculating here. The discussion would be, you are what you eat, is it not?
That's true.
Now, I've said this before, whether you take the scripture or the Holy Bible or however you want to deal with it as a document or as a reference of understanding. It's not what comes out, goes in a man's mouth that defiles him. It's what comes out. And we hear that in a lot of the ignorant conversations that are being displayed here. It is what you say which reflects what you think. So if you can't deal with something as simple as the foods, the culture, which is part of your behavior pattern, the crops, and the feeding of you, your children, and your grandchildren, you don't have any kind of intelligent discussion about DNA and supposed grouping. Because as you was trying to explain to that young blood, that can only tell you the line of genealogy of, and hopefully your matrilineal, because that's what mitochondrial DNA does, correct?
Absolutely.
So here's what my thought is for today. If you want to pause me or put me on back on the panel. When we're having discussions going forward, we must clearly understand there is testosterone problems of patriarchy that is causing us serious chaos. The lack of inclusion of matrilineal existence, which is half of us because all X chromosome is of the female origin. The Y chromosome is what creates this testosterone issue that we're dealing with. Then the X of itself, most people don't seem to understand the first 6 weeks of all fetuses are X until the Y chromosome asserts itself. Now, I'm sure you're aware of some of these basic biological facts, AP. So when in the future, and I don't expect it's going to happen today, when in the future conversation of all of this breast thumping, chest beating, testosterone discussion going on, and you're not considering what I'm suggesting today, that half of who you are is of feminine origin, and start understanding that our culture was matrilineal and matriarchal for thousands of years. That didn't mean that the man didn't have a say. It meant we did things in camaraderie, in peace and coexistence, and in protecting our femininities, our womanhood that produced other people. Because I don't know about you, AP, I don't know any man that's brought another person on this planet.
Right.
At least for in the last billions of years. Are you feeling what I'm saying, young brother?
What?
I don't want to get too far afield, maybe, of what you were intending to discuss today. I just wanted to share those thoughts. And one final thing, as far as genealogy is concerned, including this argument, these paper pushers like the Moors and other people, the sovereign citizen crap. My spin on what is nationality is two simple things. You are born physically somewhere. In my case, that's why it's called Alabama, or what we call Alabama today is the origin of my birth. You are born to some people. That's your choice to find out who that is. That's your genealogy and your family tree. Those two things connected together makes your nationality or your nation status. Those 50 things called states here of Turtle Island is what ties us to this land. And again, that's just my opinion, AP. That to me is the basis of nationality. And I yield, my good brother.
I appreciate you putting it on with the wise words of wisdom. Shout out to Alabama with the wise words of wisdom. We got Supreme Chief on the panel. Battle Axe, you were showing something on the screen, sir.
Yeah, it said it right here. You know what I'm saying? There's it's not one, there's you know what I'm saying, a few things that I just easily looked up.
No. I see you show me a few things online, but what academic study says that? So what from whom college or what university put out that study? And who was the archaeologist, anthropologist, paleontologist on site?
Like I said, these are just things I just looked up on the fly because you asking me on the
I you had a
you feel what I'm saying? You asked me on
just
the
show
drop.
a bunch of random shit. I want you to get into the actual primary of the source and from which you're presenting, sir. We're just asking you for quality sources, sir. That's all. We're not
This is a
hassling you.
University of
You made
Pennsylvania.
a claim, and so now we're challenging it.
This one's from the University of Pennsylvania.
Okay, can you show us that, sir? Can you put that back on the screen? Show us again.
All right.
University of Pennsylvania. Y'all write that down, you guys. Double check that in real time. All right, let's get a solo layout.
Because they found some their inscriptions and they figured out that those inscriptions are bona fide Asian. And This is from the Department of East Asian Languages and Civilizations at the University of Pennsylvania by Zhang He. These
What
people,
does that got?
they are,
And this is directly talking about Omax, right? This is
yeah,
directly talking about Omax, correct?
yeah. It's called a study on the Olmec
Okay.
iconographic symbols and Mesoamerican writing. These people know who their people is. See, that's the craziest thing about it is we the only people that sees it that way. But all these other
What,
folks, these folks that's living there,
what
us,
is some of
they
the
looking at us and they
what is
looking
some
at.
of the proverbs that it's saying? Go into the Lamentations because I'm not familiar with that particular sort.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, I mean I'm not familiar with
Absolutely.
it. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
yeah. Get
says,
into it. Matter
hey,
of fact, can't is there a link to it? Can you put the link in the back chat? Hey, peace, peace,
nah,
everybody, man. How everybody doing? I'm gonna be
I'm on my
It's in the
as
telephone.
library.
diplomatic. I'm gonna be as diplomatic as possible. But I had this conversation with you yesterday, brother.
Who?
This is Chief Holiday, Mr. Miyagi, sir. I mean, you just had
No,
this conversation yesterday. You're here asking questions like you didn't get edified yesterday, sir.
no, I'm just on here because Ten Commandments told me to come over here and he let that be known.
Okay. Well, here's the problem that you have, right? I told you yesterday. Not only the Olmecs are just one way that we're cross-referencing that we know that Negroes are here.
But we got to deal with
Okay.
it.
Listen, that's just one way, right? He showed you a Mendoza Codex, right? Showing depicting the footprint. You went through all this other stuff. Then we can show you bones in the ground. We can show you pyramids and artifacts.
Okay, well, we're
Well,
going to deal with
hold on,
this,
hold on, hold on, hold on. Listen.
and then
Then
we
I can go show you. Listen, sir.
hold
Then I
up.
can go to Asia. I can go to China and show you 2,000 years ago that it's nothing but niggas in China. So the modern phenotypical Asian or Mexican that you see today did not exist fucking 2,000 years ago. Are you understanding that? Maybe you don't understand that, and maybe you believe all the stereotypical things that the cracker is pushing. Then you bring your black ass over here and you start pushing the same shit with no information. Dog, you have to do information before you come up here asking questions, sir. You don't know nothing that you asking the questions to. You don't know about the sheep people. You don't know where they got it from, where they made it at, what dates, nothing. And so we asked you to read an
Excuse
article
me, hold
that
on. I can't even
that
hear nothing.
you specifically went to Asians, people that are trying to prove the connection between Asia or Chinese people and niggas here in America. Do you see what you're doing?
Hey, I ain't getting no sound, so you guys mind if I cut drop out and come right
Testing,
back in?
testing, testing, testing. Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me? No, you guys can't hear me. Mic check, mic check. Hey man, piece of the guy. This nigga Chief scared of study. He has a Pennsylvania University watch and strike. What? Not a coincidence. I would debate you right now. Right now. You niggas is cowards. Y'all keep my name in y'all mouth, but y'all don't never want to get on the stage and debate shit y'all talking about. Cause I debunk everything you say behind the scenes. You know that, sir. But this guy come on here talking about Asian people who are here first and all this other shit, when we've clearly got the oldest bones of niggas here in the ground, 10,000 BC. Now I don't know why we got to keep entertaining this dumbass shit every day. Please stop coming on here caping for crackers every day, bro. I'm gonna start cussing y'all out, or just leave me out alone. Don't come on my shit talking about no dumb shit. If you don't know who the she people are, you don't know the stone that they made their homemade heads out of. Hey, Al, I just sent you the Olmec. We're gonna shut this nigga down for the last time. You told him about the oldest Olmec, El Negro, right? He ain't want to
I'm on
accept
my
that.
tablet. I'm not able to screen share right
Oh, he don't want to accept that. So when we show you the Olmec with the afro, then you're not gonna accept that. Oh well, that's a
now.
slave that they depicted
What's
it,
the whole
huh?
back with the Afro name? What's that name? What's the name of that?
I don't. We can call that nigga Jerome. I don't give a fuck what is this. That motherfucker got an afro, perfectly lined up afro.
Yeah,
Ain't no
they call him
motherfucking
LG.
hairstyle. That's an afro Mexican, Afro She, Meshi, She people, black guys. Tired of you niggas, bro. Don't come over here about some shit you don't know nothing about, my nigga. It's wasting Aboriginal powers time. Cause nigga, we could be building. Now we gotta go regressing, talking about some niggas talking about some Asians were here first. He's trying to tell us the old land, the tribe of Gad, that shit. This nigga's a Hebrew, y'all. He wants to come over here and tell us that this tribe of Gad, that shit, and the link of his source is the fucking Bible. And Deuteronomy, shut the fuck up, dude. And that's a problem because you come over here, you don't know shit that you talking about. That's crazy as hell. Why debate when you don't do the research, bro? Read some books before you come over here talking to us. That's all we ask y'all to do. Please, not a coincidence. Please stop being a coward and chatty patting. You can get this fade anytime. I'll debate you one-on-one anytime you want to do it. Today, not talking about tomorrow, next day, none of that. Any of you motherfuckers want to debate today. I'm going to embarrass you, so I'm gonna tell you. Free smoke today, nigga. I'll take out our for you bitch ass niggas. Tired of you niggas. Anybody want to smoke? Today only. Today only.
So if anybody want to hit the link and pop on,
fuck out of here. Come on, get it,
in the chat, man. What's going on? We got the I am on here. Let me get to my brother, the I am. What's going on, the I am?
Sheesh.
Yeah, what's going on, yo?
What's going on with it?
Hey, man. He wanted to challenge you all, and I told him that I feel like y'all got more truth than the Israelites, even though Israelites do got some good information. Also, he was saying that he was going to take his information to the Supreme Court in America. He was saying, did y'all plan on doing that one day, like proving y'all case in court? He said, because all this means nothing if you're not going to prove your case in court. He was saying something like that to me, but if I'm wrong, he can if I'm wrong, he can correct me on that.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Dub P. They gonna laugh at him in court, G. Going down there dressed up with that Hebrew Israelite memorabilia. And the judge gonna look at the judge and say, read. That's what the judge gonna say. Read. So stupid ass out there. Fuck wrong with
shit.
Go ahead, Dub P. You got the Big brother.
I'm just trying to figure it out, y'all. That we provide archaeological evidence, craniological evidence, geological evidence, every ology that you can think of, and we'll show you human beings in the ground. And then a nigga come on here and tell you something about some made up ass Philistine ass shit. Come on, bro. Y'all gotta stop this bullshit, man. Real talk, man. Y'all gotta stop this bullshit. Y'all have a belief system. And then if the science don't go along with your belief system, you discard the actual scientific methodology that it came. Y'all gotta make that make sense.
Chief Holiday.
Yes, sir.
My good brother, AP, forgive me. I didn't want to interrupt, but you always doing some good stuff, Chief Holiday. I just wanted to give you your props if I haven't done that. You're the closest that I would say as a comrade, a brother of like-mindedness. Thank you. If I have not said that before, I want to make sure to put that into
Appreciate
your
you, brother. Is that Ricky?
Today.
We appreciate that, big brother Alabama. We appreciate all the love.
Alabama, peace, brother.
Can I ask
yeah.
one quick question of you, Chief? Do you know Chief Alonzo Langley or anything about those that are the Yuchi tribe in South Carolina?
Chief Langley?
I'm a Indian. Now, shout out to Chief Langley.
I know a little bit about Chief Langley. Yeah, he cool.
And the last question is kind of a comrade to the two. You familiar with Chief Warhorse, Elwyn Gillum?
Absolutely. So, hey, anybody, if I can get that interview, that'd be a dope interview. As well as Hemok.
You're about to make me feel warm and fuzzy in my nether regions here, okay? So could you slap that little bit back on that fool that was on here about the bricks and the big head Olmec in Bolivia? I'm sure you're familiar with that as well, Chief.
Talking about the
Are you familiar with?
the
Are you
statues
familiar
of Bolivia
with that?
or the pyramid in Bolivia? Which one?
No, there's a mountain in Bolivia called Chata. There's a gigantic big head, like all the other big head Olmecs that these fools want to attach themselves to, that's made completely out of bricks, and it's the same bricks that were fashioned by these mound builders in in New Orleans. Are you hip to that?
No, I haven't heard that. You gonna have to put me up on that, man.
Okay, just go to Chief Elwyn Gillum, Chief Warhorse, and see that one interview she had where she came across. This was at a conference that she was meeting with a brother out of Bolivia that gave her basically, the same acknowledgement that the Choctaw run from Bolivia to Canada, or Canaan land, as some of these ignorant Negroes want to claim as Hebrew Israelites. So I just want to drop that in the thought process, and thanking again, Chief Holiday, for you. Just stick with the facts, man. It stands for reason that it's always going to elevate us, because facts, as Ronald Wilson Reagan used to say, are stubborn things. Once again, AP, thank you for.
I appreciate you, Alabama. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We ain't gonna be on here long, man. So if anybody has something they want to say before we get out of here, y'all more than welcome.
What's up? What's up, AP?
What's going on, Don?
I just want to back up.
Hold
Hey,
on, Chief.
peace, Dom. Go ahead, you got it, bro.
What's going on,
Yeah.
Don P?
I want to address something the older gentleman was talking about when he was on some. He said something along the lines of it's a lot of patriarchal energy, and I want him to elaborate on that because I'm confused by that. I know what patriarchal means. You're basically saying it's a lot of male energy when it comes to these conversations. So what do you mean by that, sir?
Alabama.
Yeah, my brother, what were you saying? You were kind of going in and out.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. What were you asking?
All right, so the question I asked was, you said something along the lines of, you talking about patriarchal energy and matriarchal energy. Like, I know what those two terms mean, but you said it's a lot of patriarchal energy in these conversations. So I wanted you to elaborate on that. What do you mean by that?
Well, we'd have to have another discussion on what is testosterone, the Y chromosome, and I don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole. I'm just saying, when one goes objectively and looks at our existence before colonialization and foreign invaders, we lived harmoniously with what could be considered either matrilineal or matriarchal existence. There were clan mothers and war councils that, like I said, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but
No, you don't have to. I don't want you to explain. I don't want you to explain none of that. What I'm the point that I'm harping on is the fact that you said that it's a lot of testosterone energy with the conversation, and I want to know, like, what would compel you to say something like that? Is this something that you
No, I'm
heard?
talking about the distractionary behavior of chest thumping, brother. That's what I was just talking about. Eventually, when we get to a higher level of understanding and reasoning, we don't have to be outdoing each other. Testosterone mentality gets into the issue of competitiveness and the kind of dangerous thing that's basis of American capitalism, by the way. But like I said, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. I just wanted to share certain thoughts, like I just said with Chief Holiday, that shows facts that will elevate the conversation. And trolls and ignorant folk are always going to cling on to beliefs, not actual knowledge. That's the only point that I was trying to raise.
So let me ask you this. You said we have to do away with the word black. I won't debate that. But do you subscribe to the idea of white supremacy? Or is that
white supremacy exists in the minds of any individual who believes in it. Again, that's a belief system. So when you believe something, you manifest it to become a reality. That does not make it real. I'll give you another example. This fiat currency that we have as an economy, it literally.
Alabama, hold on. Can you repeat what you said initially starting off?
Yeah, repeat what you said again.
There was some feedback. Go ahead, repeat that again.
White supremacy is a belief. Any belief system that a person holds dear and manifests, it becomes a reality. That does not make it real. It just makes it what you manifest it to be. But the basis of white supremacy, whiteness and blackness, neither of them exists. We are ascribing something to
Okay,
something and then attaching ourselves to it.
So let me ask you this: who benefited from Jim Crow?
What do you mean by that? By who benefited from it?
What group of people benefited from Jim Crow?
Now, do you want to call them white people? Do you want to either call them white people, or do you want to deal with the boule? Do you want to deal with the black nobility? Do you want to deal with the hidden hand? There's a lot of other aspects of this when you say something caused benefit to a particular group.
Boule had something to do with Jim Crow. You think they had a hand in it?
Any person in the power structure, which is today described as the 1%, some of those individuals that we keep being fixated on are pale-skinned, so-called Caucasoid or quote-unquote white people are a distraction. There is black, quote-unquote, or melanated or dark-skinned nobility, secret societies, boule, and other people who are propping up the so-called white man to distract the rest of us.
Talk that talk.
No, I see what you're saying. But boule don't run anything. They got to go by white supremacists in order to pass anything.
Here again, brother, you're ascribing a belief, and I'm not arguing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to show you the fact of what I just described to you, of what a belief system is. Believing in something does not make it so. It makes it so to you. It makes it so to anyone who believes something. But everything that we're operating under this white supremacy charade is based on our believing in it. And because we are making it manifest, because we are ascribing our energy to it, and I'm talking about the so-called people who have been called nigger, negro, colored, black, and African American. Now, whether you call yourself Aboriginal or not, that's your choice. Whether you want to ascribe to this FBA nonsense, which is just another new label, that's your choice. But the actual first incorrect label in Noah's dictionary, 1828, is American. And there is only one definition to that: the copper-colored inhabitants of Turtle Island. Now, everyone else is attaching themselves to that American description, if you will. But all of this shit is a fraud. Again, what we're talking about, it's like the old phrase from Shakespeare: a rose by any other name will be just as sweet. It's not what you call me, it's what I answer to. But if I don't know what I am truly, that's this identity crisis that's causing our people the real crux of their problem today. It's not about the white man. It's not about being poor. It's not about being oppressed or having mass incarceration, locking the fuck up in jail. Those are all actual ancillary things that happen from your confused state of your mentality. The real problem is getting your mind straight. And as soon as we do address that, then all of this other shit will fall away. So listening to you young brothers,
Somebody, hold on. Somebody need to mute their page.
or like advice and bumping heads over each other's opinions is somewhat amusing, but it's distractionary and it's dangerous for the future course of our young generation that's coming out of the womb. That is the only reason why I made the comments I was making this morning. And so Chief Holiday, I think I've already said that, I'm more aligned almost 100% in what you're saying. Just like when you went off, I think it was last week, on some other young fool talking about whether or not you're going to ascribe to being a kata, a booty scratcher, or a zaddy, or whatever other thing you want to attach yourself to, which is to distract from addressing we are the shit, period. We are the original beings of this planet that's called, whether it's Pangea, Gaia, Turtle Island, whatever label you want to give it. There ain't nobody older than us. That's what Chief Holiday keeps trying to tell you very limited people. Now, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Chief Holiday. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I think I hear you say on a regular.
So let me make things clear, because you said a lot of things in like a broad spectrum. You think that you said FBA is nonsense?
The term foundational Black American is no different than nigger. I'll leave with this one statement. The term nigger is the first American creation for the basis of capitalism. It turned our ancestors, whether you want to believe your ancestor came off a boat like Kunta Kinte and all that roots crap, you can believe that. But any way you want to go about it, what caused white chattel slavery, because the original slavery was white Slavs, not our American Aboriginal ancestors. That system created a nigger. It attached it to people who were called Negro, colored, Black, and African American. And when you look up the document Dum Diversus in 1452, the Roman Catholic Church said slavery was in perpetuity. That means forever. So if you want to call yourself a slave, if you want to attach yourself to slavery as a concept, that's your choice. So calling yourself Black or calling yourself whatever, African American, etc., any of all these other labels, has slavery attached to it. So do just some simple research. That's all I'm asking you to do, young brothers. Do some simple research and understand slavery is a system for perpetuity. That means forever. So that's my
here's my thing. I'm not debating on you. I'm not.
The word
I'm debating with you on whether or not white supremacy is real.
Hold on, Alabama.
Debating on any of the points that you're making. See, we may be in agreement with that. I'm not debating with you on all those other points. I believe that only the African population was brought over here as slaves of us was Jews. I don't discount that at all. I don't. See, my problem is this, and this is why I'm really stuck on this. I've been in these spaces before where we got close to getting things done on a political game. But there was a lot of people who didn't understand YC, so they backed up the wrong people to get us where we need to be, and now we're hurting for it. And I always said this, and I believe that we're hurting. We got 3 more years of the BS, and what I mean by the BS, because now that the leaders of the last movement, I'm gonna do this. Yvette Carnot, she was kicking for the Democrats so much that she got people into where they're gonna bring an influx of immigrants in here to discredit us, to not discredit us, but to undermine us. And that's because they didn't understand white supremacy. Now, AP, you said it what it is. You said, I don't think it's white supremacy. I just think there's a system in place. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we know it's a system in place that we know certain other people benefit from.
All right. So my thing is this: we get hung up too much on the words, right? I think we get hung up too much on the words. I don't discount what y'all think Black means. I'm not going to debate that. I actually believe in that. But as a social construct, that's how we're referred to. Now, I understand your argument. We need to change that. That's fine. But at the end of the day, who's gaining momentum when it comes to these talks about propelling our people forward?
I don't want to put words in your mouth, young brother. I guess I think I
Hold on, Don P. Hold on a second. Speak to my it's a bad echo.
Is it echo on my end?
Well, listen. So this while Alabama was speaking, Don P, you mute, and while Don P speaking Alabama, you mute. Y'all got a bad echo on feedback on it. You don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Bad feedback.
Okay. I don't understand what the young blood. Well, actually, I do. I understand the confusion that he's describing. But here's what I want to be saying clearly. So hopefully you're not confused by what I am stating. No matter how these conversations continue to go, they are going on a course that was started. The simple starting point for me for the conversation we're having now is Dum Diversus in 1452 and what the Pope instituted under the Catholic Church that caused the age of discovery and caused these people, whether you call them Caucasians or whomever, European explorers, to come to the so-called New World, which was the Old World. They did their exploration efforts to acquire resources, land, and commit genocide. Now, as long as you understand those simple parts of the plan. That was their intention. I don't care whether they were melanated Europeans, black nobility, or so-called pale-skinned white people that we call today, like the Pope in the Vatican. At the end of the day, the agenda was to come to our land, Turtle Island, steal it, and exterminate us. When you can just come to grips with that basic understanding, then I think you can go forward with brothers like Chief Holiday. Because I understand his anger and his outrage. I agree with it 100%. My simple way of saying is, motherfuckers, you weren't invited in my house. I don't know who you are. I don't give a shit who you are. You can't tell me shit about what's going on in my house. What you can do is leave. Now, you can leave standing up or being stretched out in a box or 6 feet under. Those are the options. But the question remains when we want to talk manhood, and I don't want to get bogged down on the testosterone, is you keep protecting what's yours, your children, and your women. That's the bottom line. And we're not dealing with that while we're caught up talking about white supremacy or anything else. That's one. Two, at the end of the day, ironically, all this shit is going to be proven because they have the proof with their documents. Their documents prove they are liars, thieves, cheats, and genocidal murderers. We don't have to prove anything. All Chief Holiday is saying to you is showing you where not just the paperwork proves where we stand on our square, as the Moors like to say, but the bones in the ground prove to you ain't nothing older than us. So let's stop quarreling with our great-great-great-grandchildren at best about some bullshit. So when we get to that sort of understanding, then we can start seeing how we move forward for our children and our grandchildren, not being caught up in this shit. And I yield, my good brothers.
All right. I didn't come over here to quarrel with you in any way. The only thing again that I do respectfully disagree about is we can't get nothing done talking about white supremacy. I don't subscribe to the idea of white supremacy automatically means okay, we're inferior, we might as well give up. Understanding white supremacy, you know how to mobilize against them, you know how to move against them. You're not underestimating certain folks because they give you a smile or they have liberal way of thinking. You know what I mean? White supremacy forces us as a people to be on code with one another. A sister asked in the beginning when she got on the panel, what should we do about these immigrants? And the whole Democrats. I know what she was getting at. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I know what she was getting at because there was a few FBA brothers and sisters talking about, you know what, maybe we should vote Republican because we know the Republicans don't want the black immigrants around and they're going to get rid of them. Strategically, that's sound. But I would say that's off code because we set a precedent for all other black people around the world. We do something everybody else follows. So we have to have a track record of being on code. Us voting for the Republicans, I get why people want to do that, but that's just like us snitching on them. Like, oh, you know what? They undermine us, so we're going to snitch on them. We're going to snitch on them and make sure they get deported or whatever. I would say just let a certain system burn, crash and burn. Don't vote for the Democrats and let the Republicans do what they do and don't help. Let them hold their own nuts. That's being on code. That way in the future, 20, 30 years down the line, when we can all, because that's what I want ultimately is for us to unite. But in order for us to unite, I feel like us as a people, our own ethnic group, we got to make sure that we make power plays first for us and us only. That's what we got to do for us and us only. And as far as everything else goes, we just got to be on code. And when you understand white supremacy, you have no choice but to be on code. I heard the other brother, Black Act, speaking. All I hear from him is, it sounds like white fish, blue fish, fucking one fish, two fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. That's all it sounds to me. It's wasting time tactics. All I'm saying to us as brothers, because foundational Black Americans, we on the same page with y'all. We only got small ideology differences. That's why I'm not beefing with you at all. I don't think y'all coons. I don't think y'all none of that. But this whole idea of thinking white supremacy is nonsense, I mean, you don't get no truth in history. It's facts. White supremacy is real. Now, I'm not going to try to bang it over your heads because it's obvious. You don't believe in it. It is what it is. But for the chat, for the people who do know what white supremacy is, y'all know what it is. That's why a lot of us is on code with one another. That's all. That's all I want to say, man. But I'm not
Okay,
confused.
may I just say one thing in response to that specifically? And thank you,
Yes,
AP.
sir.
I don't want to interrupt, but I just want to just have clarity. I am not dismissing nor disagreeing what your position is about white supremacy. What I said earlier, and maybe you didn't clearly understand what I said, for there to be a white, it requires a black existence. Whiteness in and of itself has no substance. So when we're saying it's nonsense, maybe you don't understand what we mean by that statement, but I'm hoping describing it this way, you'll clearly understand. I'm not saying you're nonsense. I'm not saying the importance of white supremacy as a system, which has a reality to it, is based in people believing it has a reality. But in and of itself, it does not exist. That's one. Two, and AP, I don't know if you're going to do this as a show. I would suggest that you do or consider it. When we're on code, the way you want to say on code, and I respect Neely Fuller Jr. as an elder, because I do respect his work, but I do not give it significance in any manner of the way I just described, because ultimately it will defeat itself and dissolve into nothingness because it never was existing. When we do understand the level of consciousness I'm talking about. What Chief Holiday, and again, I try to put words in his mouth, but my understanding listening to his message, when we lay claim to our true self, that removes us from white supremacy as an existing system, one. Two, when you claim your family story, and this is my spin on it, you go and dig up your family tree, you get your genealogy, you find an ancestor patch of dirt here amongst these 50 states of Turtle Island and claim that. When you claim that, I'll wrap up with this, AP. The United Nations Declaration of Human Rights and the Organization of American States and the indigenous rights of people declared in the UN and in the American Declaration of Rights. These declarations don't give me squat. They only outline on paper what I have by birthright. And when you find out who you're born to and what that family lineage is, that's your story, not this DNA testing shit. And when you lay claim to that, you have the authority under your creator, whatever God you want to call that, to hold, fight, and defend that land and expel all immigrants and foreign invaders. Now, if I haven't made myself clear enough on that, I'm going to yield on that point. And again, AP, thank you for the access to your platform.
I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Appreciate the brother Don P, Supreme Chief, the I Am, and the brother Alabama, man. We're going to wrap this show up. We already hit the 3-hour marker. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I will do another live stream sometime tomorrow. Make sure y'all be safe on your daily commute. Make sure y'all keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Keep spreading the knowledge and information. And make sure y'all support the channel before y'all get out of here, man. Support the channel. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Before we go, flood them chat out with the fire emojis, man. If you're a proud Aboriginal / FBA, flood the chat out with those fire emojis, man. We out of here. We about to get ready to take off. I appreciate y'all. Tap in, subscribe, share, hit the like, all that good stuff, and we out of here. Peace.
Suave on the track. Whatever it takes. The Hellyway. Coco, this your season right now. They won't see me. They won't let me I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup.